Parenting is a perpetual test to see if humans can function without sleep. Oh, hey, we're going to talk about it today on Mornings and Live with Keith and friends. No opener, making some changes to the show today on the fly. Yeah, going to make a few little changes. Good morning, Bernard. I see you there. I'm going to call you in a few minutes, Bernie. Bernie's got some big news here in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings Live with Keith and friends. The unapologetically authentic, always hilarious, and endlessly motivating live morning show. Designed to give men their daily dose of real talk and morning mindset. I invite you to hit subscribe, like, and comment below. This morning on the big show here this morning, we got a big guest coming up today. Today in hour one, we're diving deep headfirst into optimizing your dad energy with our deep dive segment, the 4 hours. So guys, this might be a segment for our mothers out there, but we're going to get into it ourselves, talk a little about dads who don't sleep. Yep, 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Then on center stage, we got Adam Thomas Hurd, the accidental CEO whose journey from banking VP to $1 million maker will inspire you. Yeah, baby. Will inspire you to scale without losing your soul. Plus, we're going to share the ultimate sleep hack. Forget that melatonin, our mind fuel segments, delivering a 5-minute breathing technique. I've been using it. Oh, yeah, baby. That'll knock you out faster than your nightly bourbon. Good morning, Holroyd. Good morning, Bernard. Good morning, Lady Drew. Yes. Ready to conquer the day. Let's kick it off. Let's get into Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends and keep the show rocking and rolling here this morning. All right, so yesterday after the show, I got a wonderful text from one of our community members. Yeah, true story, Bernie. And he says, hey, I got some big news. It's like, oh, yeah. So we're going to call Bernie in a few moments here. Wait till Johnny gets on the stage here to bring Bernie up here and share some of that news with him today on the show. And then let's see here, guys. We also have Adam Thomas Hurd joining us in the first hour, joining us up here in the big show here this morning on Mornings in the Live with Keith and friends, Vice Chairman of the New York Advisory Group, working with New York State Senate Assembly members, 24 years in financial services, atomic business coaching. We're going to have Adam on the show here, works exclusively with purple collar professionals. Yeah, those blending blue collar skills with white collar business acumen. That's going to be a fun situation this morning on the big show, this morning, Mornings Live with Keith and friends. We also have, I also want to, so when AJ joins us later on in the show here today, we're going to have a conversation around the manosphere's influence on divorce. Yes, a new trend noted by family lawyers. Apparently, we have craziness happening in the internet. Yeah, internet's dead, man. Internet's just dead. And it's having a real influence on why people are divorcing. We're going to talk about that later on in the show with AJ here coming up here. We're also going to get into how to find some better ways to breathe to put you to sleep. I have been doing much of that myself lately as I've been focusing on getting that bed rest. And I got a hack. Going to drop a hack at the bottom of the hour here on how to get some better sleep along the way. But guys, let's do this. I'm going to give Bernard a call, and we're going to bring him up on the big show here today. So Bernie, if you're listening and waiting, I'm dialing you up here, brother, right now. I got to make sure everything's sorted out here on the big phone. Yeah, that's there. We're going to do this here too. So those of you that do know or don't know, Bernard is in the B-Drive business. He is Johnny's coming. Johnny's caught up in the facilities apparently. So let's do this here. We're going to give Bernard a call here, and we're going to hear the news. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm just going to tell Bernard's phone number on the show. 19. Bernard's like, no, don't do it. No, I'm not going to do it, Bernard. Nope, not doing it on you, pal. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. And then bum, 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 bum. And then we're going to hit send and see what happens. Oh, it's ringing. The phone's ringing. It's 1995 here on the Big Morning Show. Is this Bernard the Beekeeper?
Good morning.
What's going on, Bernard the Beekeeper? How are you, pal?
Doing great, brother. Living the dream.
Yes. Hey, Joe Fontana, we have Bernard the Beekeeper on the line right now. Bernard had some big, awesome news that he dialed me up yesterday, sent me a text. I'm like, dude, you got to get on the show and tell the world about your big news from Bernie the Beekeeper. Bernie, what happened yesterday, pal? First of all, hold on. Take a minute to tell yourself to business athlete, Mornings in the Lab Nation, who's Bernard the Beekeeper and where are you from, brother?
Well, I'm 48. I live in Michigan.
Yes.
I started construction when I was 17. After I graduated, I did pole barns, and it kind of led to roofing and being self-employed from the time I was 22 and till now. I just figured out that construction wasn't the end game for me, and that it is feast or famine. And through some prayer and soul seeking, bees showed up one day, and I think that was the answer that God gave me for what I'm going to do for the other half of my life instead of construction.
Nicely
I
done.
can work.
What's that?
I said I can work for myself and do construction on the things I need here instead of everybody else's now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So I teased your big announcement yesterday. What was the big announcement that happened in your world yesterday? Bernard.
Well, this is my third year beekeeping, going into my fourth season now. And towards the end of the first season, I decided to maybe try some subscriptions for people to share the bees and maybe purchase a little more equipment faster that way. And it turned into a big opportunity, and it's grown a lot faster. And yesterday I got a agreement with Premier Bees, which is one of the number one producers for foundations and equipment.
Nice.
To let me, I got to deal with them to use their products on my site for the products that I don't produce myself. And, that I use of theirs. I've always promoted their products since I started. And now I've got permission to put it on my website. And to me, that's like a huge acknowledgement that my brand is growing and that the biggest brands in the business recognize my growth and that I exist. That was really vindication for me.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on that. That's so A, I'm grateful you decided to share it with me yesterday. Very, very kind of you. B, I'm really grateful you're here on the show sharing it with our community. And C, when does all this kick into effect for you, Bernie?
Well, we've been adding things to the website steadily, so it's a little bit on my developer side. I put him in contact with their PR person, and we're allowed to use all of their stock photos. And
nice.
The only rule that they gave me is that I use their retail price for my flooring on my website. I can price things out as long as I don't go below what they sell.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations, pal. I appreciate you sharing your news with us. I'm excited for you and your journey with the bees. And listen, guys, you guys can also join the conversation here on Mornings and Live with Keith and Friends, 431-300-3005. Bernard, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your constant involvement in our show. I'm going to let you go to keep this show rolling, and I look forward to connecting with you along the way. Okay, pal?
Yeah, thank you to everybody that shows up every day. This means as much to me as it does to you guys. And
awesome.
This is part of my 6 hours in the morning that is personal growth, where I work on me and my future.
I love it. The non-negotiable with Mr. B Drive. Bernard joining us all the way from Michigan today. Bernie, I appreciate you, man. Lots of love coming from me to you. Stay well and stay safe. And I'll see you in the comments, and we'll stay in touch. Okay, pal?
Yeah, thanks, brother. We'll get on here again.
All right, brother. All right, cool. All right, we're hanging up with Bernie. That was awesome, Jimmy. That was absolutely awesome. Guys, listen, if you guys have news you want to share in our community, let's just do this for Bernard. Boom, boom, boom. Bernie had big news yesterday. And he decided to he sent me a text. He's like, dude, I don't know who to send a text to. I'm excited. You have built this great platform for us to create, a community of celebration. And I'm excited to be here with you today. So Bernie, I appreciate that, man. That is awesome that you took some time out of your day to join us and share that news. That is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful information. And guys, listen, if you have stuff you want to share, tell me. Yeah, true story. 431-300-3005. 431-300-3005. The Mornings in the Lab hotline, getting after it every single day. Right now here. And now listen, we did have a guest that was supposed to be here today. Not too sure if the guy put on a white tarp and called it a ghost. because I do not see him, or Jimmy, or maybe he's just not figuring out the instructions. I do not see him in the green room, so I'm suspecting that maybe the IKEA instructions did not get or did not be passed, or I'm not too sure. I know Johnny's on his way. Johnny is stuck in the bidet environment, and I know Marty is working his way here as well here this morning on the big show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. The only experience you guys need to get up and get after every single day. We do it here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Right here on YouTube, LinkedIn. Hey, did you guys check out Kindness Rising this morning? Well, if you didn't, you missed some vulnerable conversation from our brother from a different mother. Matt Roof. Matty gets after it every single day here at 7:30 Eastern time to kick off the big conversation we get after every single day. Matt had some vulnerable chat here today. I was tuned into the show for a while. I was getting ready for today's show. Matty spent a bunch of time talking about his journey in life. And here's what I love about Matt, and here's what I love about his show. For those of you that are getting up and sometimes struggling with your journey, I'm going to suspect that you hear a little bit about from Matt. You're going to be encouraged to get up and get after yours. And as you'll hear from Matt today, it's never as easy as we all think it is. Yes, just looking at Lady Drew's comments here. Appreciate you, Lady Drew. Absolutely. I know you were in Matt's show this morning as well. So, Matty, dude, I appreciate your vulnerability, man, and I appreciate what you're always sharing here on the Mornings in the Lab community. Speaking of Mornings in the Lab community, guys, we do have a what's the word, Jimmy? Burgeoning? We do have a fledgling, new, growing community here in the lab. You can join it by letting me pause to sip my coffee. Yes. Pretty good sleep last night. We're going to talk sleep on the show today. Listen, you guys can join the community, the Mornings in the Lab community, easily. Subscribe to this channel, like the channel, tell your friends about it. But I invite you to subscribe to this channel. But we also have a paying component as well. It's $3, $15, and $20, I believe it is, somewhere within those dollar values. But and the point of our paid community is not to line my pockets or Johnny's pockets. Nope. The point is to reinvest back into this community here. So we are going to continue reinvesting, growing the audience, growing the community, growing the reach as we're looking to grow the biggest morning platform on the planet here, Mornings in the Lab right now with Keith and Johnny. And we got Marty joining us as well. What's up, Danielle? I see you there in the comments here this morning. Good to have you here on the show. Over here on the horizontal stream. Guys, if you don't know, we have two streams running at once. We have the vertical stream and the horizontal stream. And some of you decide to jump into the horizontal stream, and some of you decide to jump into the vertical stream, which is awesome. But we have two streams rocking and rolling here. So I invite you guys to see which one you want to get into. And unfortunately, YouTube doesn't let us to combine them. But I see there's an active community rolling over on the vertical side of things. I see Adam Thomas Hurd made his way into the community. I think we need to get him a watch. Yeah, or he may have hit the snooze button. But we're going to want to get Adam a watch, I think, as we are running a few minutes behind with Adam Thomas. And I do not know if I see Adam in the... Jimmy, is he in the vertical feed yet there, Jimmy? I don't see him in the vertical feed there. I see Johnny Anderson's making his way here as well. So, Dan, if you haven't... if you're not in vertical, I would invite you to check out the instructions there so we can get you onto the... Yeah, Adam, the links are all in the email, dude. There's so the instructions were sent to you when we booked you onto the show. Actually, the instructions were sent 3 times. So all the links are there, and you actually have all the... So, Nation, we have somebody who doesn't read the IKEA instructions. We have somebody who, I think, goes to IKEA and buys the desk, Mike McQuillan, and decides to put it up without reading the instructions, and then says there was no instructions. No, there were instructions. There was many instructions in the box. I just think that you thought that you could just put the thing together without putting the instructions there. So, yeah, the links are there. All the details are there in the links. Jimmy, is Johnny there? Let's bring Johnny up onto the show so that I don't feel like, as Mike's calling me, a lonely Keith here today. What's going on, Johnny? How are you, pal?
What's up, my brother? I'm gonna have to stop doing these tests on my digestion because it's causing me to be late to the show. My apologies, brother.
I think so. Yeah, this is the longest time you've been making your way into that into that situation there. Okay, you had a long go at it this morning, Anderson. Oh, we got Johnny Frozen here. We got Johnny Frozen in the feed. I think Jimmy has Johnny Frozen on the feed there. Yeah. I know. Hey, Bernard, next time we'll make sure the boss is here so that you can talk to the boss too. Bernard, I did send Dan Capello and the instructions to Johnny this morning. So Johnny, I got you and Danny. Yes, Mr. Anderson?
I got the text. Thank you. You're late, but better late than never.
I knew that I had to get it. I knew that I had to get it done before the show here today. I did not have a choice. I was like, holy fuck, I got to get this done because if I don't get it done, I am going to get shit from Anderson coming up here. So I got that to you. Got that to you right off the bat there. So how are you today? You good?
I'm good. I'd say I'm going to have to stop doing these tests on my digestion, so I keep having late to the show. Jesus Christ!
You missed a big announcement. We had Bernard had a big announcement yesterday. He sent me a text, and we called him this morning. And Bernie, we'll bring you up next time so you can talk to the boss. Yeah, I know you all want to talk to the boss here. But Johnny, we have a guest coming up here. Adam Thomas Hurd, from banking VP to $1 million maker. How this accidental CEO coach helps you scale without sacrificing soul. Let's do this, Jimmy. Let's bring up. Let's get the hook going, and we'll get the show rock and rolling here. We're running a few minutes off schedule, Jimmy. Let's run the opener and bring Adam up into the show.
What if the biggest breakthrough in your business isn't about working harder, but about accidentally discovering you've been building the wrong thing all along? Most skilled professionals find themselves trapped in a frustrating cycle. They've accidentally become CEOs without ever planning to lead, feeling like bottlenecks in their own companies. Research shows that the most successful business transformations happen through incremental, intentional shifts, rather than dramatic overhauls. When accidental CEOs learn to build systems that work without them, they don't just scale their revenue, they reclaim their lives. Stop accidentally running your business. Start intentionally leading it.
Sir, 24 years in financial services, including serving as president of a successful financial planning firm in New York, but I think misses the IKEA instructions when he heads on down to IKEA to buy the cabinet. Adam Thomas Hurd, my brother, welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. How are you, pal?
What's up, Keith and friend? Yeah, man. I guess when you accidentally show up to a podcast, you're probably not going to intentionally be able to execute very well, huh?
Yes, and not a podcast. Not a podcast is a live show. We are so far beyond the podcasts of yesterday. People who start podcasts still record those things on beta and VHS. Keith and Johnny get after it and create live conversations every single day here on the Mornings in the Lab platform. We're really excited to have you here, brother. Where are you joining us? Are you in New York here today? Where are you from, Adam?
Long Island, New York, my friend.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
The home of the New York Islanders. Are you an Islanders fan?
Oh, thank goodness I don't watch hockey because I'm already a Mets fan, and that's hard enough.
Oh, so dude, you are the vice chairman of the New York Advisory Group, dude. That's a pretty big title, man, for such a handsome young man.
Thank you, my friend. Young and handsome. I like
yes,
you already.
Yes.
I'm neither, but I'll take it from you. So I stepped down from that position in November. So you serve a term there, early released for time served, as they tell us.
Okay.
Wonderful experience. Deal a lot with Department of Financial Services, lobbying for the financial industry to help them to actually get the laws in place to benefit the clients without interrupting what those advisors want to do for the world. So a lot of politics, a lot of nonsense, a lot of conversations that never need to take place if we just had a government that actually knew how to run. Yeah,
that's fascinating. So I kind of have to ask you a question that I don't even have written down, but just kind of comes to me. How do you, I don't know you at all, but just my first 3 minutes with you, you strike me as somebody who would not deal very well with bureaucracy, yet you're in government. So a dude from New, so I got to ask, man, with shoulders like that and a mindset like you have, dude, how are you handling? Because I run from government bureaucracy, but you're like, fuck, I'm here, man. Like, what's that all about?
I've always went against the grain. When I started a financial planning firm, I did it the completely wrong way, but it ended up being successful. And when this group recognized that my whole practice was built on relationships, they're like, hey, that's all we really need in government is better relationships. So what I did is I facilitated those relationships. I massaged them. I made them happy to speak to us. And then the lawyers would come in and I'd leave the room and say, whatever the fuck you guys are going to do, good luck.
Interesting. So you work exclusively with purple collar professionals.
That's
dude,
funny that you found that. Look at that.
Yeah, I do my homework here. So which blends blue collar skills with white collar business acumen. So define, how did you arrive at that whole terminology?
Yeah, by accident, honestly. It's I was serving some people who reached out to me. You know, I spent 25 years in financial services. I ran a financial planning firm. I ended up moving into more business advisement where I served on boards and people needed help, right? They just wanted to understand how to run their life, how to run their business. And then I started this company, Atomic Business Coaching. And the people who are coming to us, they owned a blue collar business. And what that meant is they had all their employees were using their hands, not the keyboard, to actually do work. And then they had to run the company. But most of those companies had very high white collar responsibilities, like a restoration company that had to file paperwork with insurance companies, or an architectural firm that had to go with the building department and understand how to apply for certain things. So it's this blend of blue collar and white collar. You know, if you have a plumber or an electrician, it's mainly just blue collar work. Go in there, make sure the plumbing works. That's it. There are some other industries that have that crossover. And most of those business owners, Keith, they had the skill set to do the work. They had no knowledge to run the business. So when they came to us, they were proficient. Maybe they were making close to $1 million, having a very high paying job for themselves, but they wanted to grow it to a business. And they were at a point where they either had to hire somebody to run the business end of it or learn how to do that. And they ended up reaching out to us. They wanted to learn that skill. They usually didn't want to let control of their baby. And they said, hey, can you teach me what's a cash flow? How do I hire people? Do I need any kind of HR department here? And we guided them through that on my side. And my partner, Tom, who taught psychiatry at SUNY University for 10 years, served on a C-suite of a medical institution as a physician assistant. He would help them with their mindset. How do you stay healthy in your mind and your body? And how do you run with excellence?
So it's funny because we talk to folks like yourself on this show daily. And what you just said, I take for granted. I know Anderson takes for granted. Marty takes for granted. But Adam, there's still folks that don't connect those dots, that in order to be successful in business, that you got to have a strong physical mind and a strong mental mind. I'm making an obvious statement, but Adam, you're nodding there and you know, you're a very successful business coach. That still is the case, is it not?
Yeah, it is. It really, truly is. And what happens is most people are just compromising one for the other. Either they have a great mindset, great family life, they're very healthy, and their bank account is nearly at zero, or they're the other. They're super successful, they're fat and out of shape, their kids don't know their name, they're miserable, and they're going to have a heart attack at 50. And it's like, you don't have to compromise. If you work on these things simultaneously, you can have success in what we say, always, in all ways.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Talking about language, brother.
Johnny.
That's my language. I mean, that's what I mean, it's the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, you know? And I mean, just yesterday I was saying, you know, in my lifestyle tip, you know, go to the bathroom, take off your shirt. Are you happy with what you see? Because what you see is the reflection of your lifestyle and how you live your daily life. And when you live your daily life in a way where you're happy with what you see, that applies to all these other forms of your life, you know, your business, your family, your friends, your relationships. So brother, you are so talking my language. I love this shit.
So Adam, you call yourself an accidental CEO. And I bring that up because there's a lot of dudes that are waking up in your same shoes right now going, oh, okay, so I was an electrician, or I was a plumber, or I was a financial guy, or I was this or that. Now I wake up and I got this business. I have all these employees around me, and I can see you smirking because you're that guy.
I am, man. I had no intention of running a company. You know, I was lucky enough at 20 years old. I was the assistant vice president of Citigroup, making more money than my parents combined. And I was like, holy shit, I guess I'm going to have a successful life. And I did that very well.
Hold on. I guess I'm going to have a successful life.
It was another happy accident, Keith. It was like, I guess they want me to work for them. It was like, I had imposter syndrome the whole time I was there. Like, why did they hire this kid to be an AVP of Citigroup? And I had certain skill sets, personalities, as maybe comes through the screen, that work their business.
Yeah.
Well, then I ended up starting my own firm later on for financial planning, and I did it underneath the MetLife umbrella, this huge, beautiful, big organization. And they decided, like, hey, man, we are selling the company. And another institution bought them called Mass Mutual. And they said, we don't want employees. We want business owners. So you can either run your business or you can get the step in. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm a CEO. As I did that, I built a successful firm, but I really fell out of love with what I was doing. And that's how I ended up saying with my partner, Tom, now at Atomic Business Coaching, is like, hey, maybe we can help some people out. You can help them too. And we did it as a side hustle. Like, hey, let's just help these people. Actually, our first couple of clients, we did it completely for free, just out of the goodness of our heart to help them. But really what it was is to see, do we have anything that's worthwhile of charging people for? And when we did that, they received success. We loved what we did. We did it for about a year, charging, $8 to $30,000 to do this. And people kept paying us and they kept having success. And we kept loving doing this. And we looked at each other and we're like, I think we have a business here. And we had to go through the formal, set up an LLC, an S Corp, do all the things. And we accidentally became CEOs of a company. And I found that this is what's happening to so many people. They have a passion, they have a knowledge, they have a skill set. They go out there, they offer it to the world, they make a little bit of money. A year, 2, 3 goes by, they look around them and they're like, I have employees, I have vendors, I have payroll, I'm making money, I have to pay really giant tax bills. I think I accidentally became a CEO of a company. And this happens time and time again. What my mission really is to do, Keith and John, is to change them from being accidental CEOs into intentional CEOs. That's it. It's very simple.
So then in your coaching business, do you have clients that come to you saying, I think I want, or I believe I am a CEO, help me get there?
No, none of them. They come to me saying, I'm burnt out, I'm stressed out, I'm making too much money, I don't know what to do with it, I don't see my kids, I need to figure out the next step. And when they just shut up for a moment and look at how they got there, they realize this is a good problem to have. You're
I was going to say they got a lot going on there. They just got to reformat their energy.
It's all mindset, John. And it's like, hey, man, you gotta turn your perspective 180 degrees, look at it from a different angle and see what you actually have. And we do something called an accidental CEO workshop, which we offer for free. Anybody can go. It's a workshop. They come in with us live with me and Tom, small and intimate, 6 to 8 people, where we ask 3 very simple questions. What's going right? What's going wrong? And what do you need help with? And we're not there to be coaches. We're there to be facilitators, where the group of other entrepreneurs talk to each other and they look around the room and they're like, oh shit, you have the same problem as me. I'm not crazy. And that's the thing, is they feel all alone, left on the island, because they never sought out any kind of help. They maybe read a book, they watched a YouTube channel, but they're not business owners. They're producers of whatever it is they do. They have to learn the skill set, develop it. And that takes a giant mindset shift. And you have to determine, do I just want to generate revenue, or do I want to run a company? It's okay to say, I just want to generate revenue, but you can't do both simultaneously. You got to pick a lane and go all in.
Yeah. Hanging out with Keith, John Anderson, Adam Thomas Hurd, all the way from Long Island, New York, with my favorite Canadian accent, attempting to say that properly here at 8:30 Eastern time.
That was quite a mix between the New York and the Canadian accent. Although I think somewhere on the East Coast, they do say mum. I got a buddy of mine from Boston. He says mum too.
What do you say, Adam?
Me? I don't know.
I say mama. I say mama. I'm a bitch.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends the environment. Is it late at night and I'm in bed, or is it early in the morning? I'm making coffee.
There we go. There.
I'm a straight mama's boy through and through. So I'm gonna say mama no matter what time of the day.
No, Johnny, I think Adam might be alluding to some interesting ways we can use the language. Because if we're talking mama late at night at bed, there might be a different way to use the mama.
I wasn't seeing that one. I was you dirty mind, you sick bastard. We're talking about his mother.
Dude, you've been influencing me. So, hey, we can be called daddy at late at night too. Daddy or mama, either or works late at night. It depends on what side of the spectrum we're bringing out, the mama or the dad.
I love it, dude. I love it. It's all this research you do on these weird topics. Now your brain just goes to the wrong spot, dude.
Hey, Adam, you mentioned you have a partner, Tom.
Yes.
This is a topic that I don't think many business partners talk much about. I have a very successful business relationship with my partner, Maurice. And as we went our journey and we started our last business and sold it, the pivotal moment for us, Adam, was when we both had a coming to Jesus moment on our roles. And John and I, Marty, we've had this conversation often about knowing what your role is. Lean into this topic for a few moments with me about how you and Tom arrived at that, because it's difficult, man. It's like marriage. It's like understanding each other, respecting each other, not stepping on toes. There's love, there's anger, there's all of those emotions. Talk about the business relationship with Tom, Adam.
Yeah, so I'll talk about it from one perspective and bring it back to exactly what you're asking, because we didn't have that problem because I knew how to deal with it right up front. But most partnerships do experience this issue, which is like, hey, you're building something together. There's usually a handshake, 50-50 agreement, verbal something, and you get into this, and one person ends up bringing more to the table than the other person, and the one who is doing that ends up resenting the other. Hey, why am I doing all the work, getting 50% of the money? Why am I putting this effort in and doing that? And what they've never realized is when you have a partnership, the entire purpose, whether it's a marriage, whether it's on the golf course and you're in a tournament, or it's a business, you're supposed to lean on each other's skill sets to fill in the gaps the other one doesn't have. That doesn't mean it's equal. It means it's of value to the overall organization.
Yes. Well said. Well said. Holy smokes.
It's like two people that like to lift weights. Oh, let's start a gym.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's the worst partnership ever. One guy loves the accounting, the other guy loves the gym. The guy loves accounting, loves marketing. The other guy wants to be on the floor. That's perfect. You got two people that are great at the same thing. Now that's a tough one.
Well, Johnny, because one's not needed. One's not needed if you're both the same thing. One is actually
totally. And then it comes down to who's working harder. Versus two different skill sets. Maybe one skill set doesn't require as much time, but it produces as much value. I totally get that.
So then, Adam, how did you teach this, or did you and Tom have an unwritten? Like, how did you guys arrive at it? This is nuggets, brother. Keep going.
Yeah, most of what I teach is either experience that I learned or helping somebody out figure it out along the way in my 25 years of being an advisor. And for me, I had a great business, 3 partners, multi-millions of dollars, had great contracts. It was amazing, but it failed because we were 33% partners and 2 of the guys were given 90% of the work. And it just didn't work out. Yeah. And we were able to amicably separate the business, separate everything. But I was like, I can never put myself in that situation again. So when Tom and I said, holy shit, I think we have a business, I sat down the first thing and I said, look, I'm fine 50-50. We'll put it on paper that way. But what do we each bring to this business for it to be successful? And it's not about the partners. It's about the organization. And you have to look at it. We look at businesses as people. So who do we want this business to be? And what does it need? It's like being a parent. And a lot of people will say, my business is my baby. Well, how about you treat it that way, right? Treat it that way. Give it mommy, give it daddy. Give it the food, give it the shelter. Give it all the things it needs. So what we realized is, for me, I am not an operational guy. And you saw, I didn't even read the damn instructions to get into here, right?
You're awesome, man. Yes.
So he is the guy that handles all that. He makes sure all the trains run on time, which is a chief operating officer. And I'm a visionary. I go out there, big picture. What should we do? I can generate revenue. I know how to develop product, process, and people, but I don't know how to execute them. So I'm the visionary. That's what a CEO does. In my opinion, a CEO has 2 jobs. Job number 1, you generate revenue. Job number 2, you develop 3 things: the product, the process, the people. And when the people can run the process to sell the product, you go back to generating revenue. And I don't mean getting on sales calls. I mean bring the organization opportunities to generate revenue. That's what I do all day long. And then he makes sure those trains run on time.
Adam Thomas Hurd.
That is literally the combo right there.
Dropping nuggets. Adam, I want to take a quick introduction. I want to introduce you to Mike McQuillan. Mike, you guys need to meet. Adam Thomas, you guys need to meet on LinkedIn. Mike's an active member in our community, fit presenter. And he just comes in with a great comment, Adam, which I think you'll appreciate. About to hit the gym. This is great conversation. Someday I'll come through and talk about the business nightmares that have gotten me this far. And I get a strong sense. McQuillan, you and Hurd will get along quite well. So I'd invite you guys to connect on the backside there. Adam dropping nuggets here. Adam, I'm gonna just be blunt and ask a question. How old are you? 35?
Me, I'm 46. I was born in 1979.
You look great, brother.
Yeah,
great.
because I was going to say your wisdom and your the way you, and I'm giving a comment, but the way you communicate your experience, you come across as an old soul with much more experience in such a young Brad Pitt type delivery. So
I appreciate it.
Oh, Brad Pitt, look out.
yeah. Well, he's got the F1.
I can see a little bit of that. Yeah.
The F1 racing movie, and I saw him this morning. I was reading the news, and I was like, "Holy smokes! This Hurd guy looks a little bit like Pitt with the short hair and the handsome face." Yeah,
thanks,
not that I'm trying to convince Hurd to come join our live network or not, Johnny. No, I wouldn't be trying to do that. Trying to butter him up. No, I wouldn't do that. No, because he does have a boring podcast. Oh, I didn't say boring podcast. It's a great podcast. Sorry. Adam, what's the quirkiest business move you've ever advised someone and that it actually worked out when you reflect upon it?
Wow, that is a really good question. Put someone right on the spot. The quirkiest business move that actually worked out. Okay, so there was someone who was an extremely highly respected in their industry, and they were not getting calls back. They had a big opportunity in front of them, which was to close a building in Manhattan that could have changed the path of their business. I'm talking could have been $500,000 annually in business. Yeah. I said, look, if you're not getting this phone call, if you're not getting the emails, if you're not doing anything, what I want you to do is go stand outside the front of the building. Okay. Go stand outside the front of the building and watch when this guy goes in and follow him in. I don't care if security tries to stop you. I don't care what it is. On that move from going from the sidewalk to his office, you have 30 seconds to plead your case of why I just need to fucking talk to you today. And he went and did that. And the guy brushed him off, completely brushed him off. Okay. But 2 weeks later, he got an email back saying, hey, let's sit down and do that, because he gave him the respect that, look, you can't expect traditional methods to work every single time. And if you're really hungry and you're driven and you want to get this thing done, it's by all means necessary.
Yes.
There's no obstacles in the way. If you hit a dead end, what do? You don't turn around, you buy a bulldozer. Okay. So let's go down the path, finish the job. And yes, is it risky? Could have you looked like an absolute idiot? Yeah, but what would he have lost? He didn't have the job anyway.
Yeah.
I love that attitude. In my experience, many of us are too worried about what that person's thinking about them if you're standing outside the door. Yet we often forget. Now, I said this to Johnny, I said it to Marty, a couple of guys along the way here, which is like, if you were doing a role play, Tom, you're knocking on my door trying to sell me something. Eventually, I might lean into you and say, you know what, dude? You're doing your job. I got nothing but respect for you. I now want to talk to you because I see how hard it is, yet you keep diligently knocking on my door. And that to me is what I think many forget, right? Which is, that's your job, is to knock on my door and be standing outside the door waiting for me to get into the building and try to sell me something. Like, that's actually your job as a salesperson or the CEO, whatever it is. Like, and so to hear that story, as quirky as it is, it's actually a real life story that I think many don't do. Adam.
Yeah. You have to respect what your role and your responsibility is. And my mentor, Eric Tom, he's the youngest Hall of Fame member of MetLife history, which is a really difficult accomplishment to do. He had a sign on his desk that said, I have not arrived yet. And that sign faced him. And what that meant is like, hey, yeah, on paper, I'm a rock star. There's a whole bunch of trophies that say I'm somebody. I'm nobody. I'm really nobody. I'm here for you to help you. And me being here is meaningless. And I think if you could just put the ego aside once in a while and recognize like, hey, I'm here to do a job. I have a purpose and I need to execute at the ability that the person on the other side of the table needs me to, you'll be way more successful.
Love it. Adam Thomas Hurd joining us, dropping nuggets all morning here. Took him a few minutes to get in. I'm really glad.
I'm gonna, brother, I just got to say it. When I find myself not speaking much, because I'm interested in what the guest has to say. Yeah. When I'm talking up a storm, a lot of times I'm just trying to sweeten up the fucking conversation, but I've been listening, dude. I've been listening.
Dropping nuggets. I can't believe our time is working towards wrap because Adam has been dropping nuggets. That's why I said that I don't believe that you're as old as you are, because your experience, the way you articulate yourself, very strong. Adam Thomas Hurd, true story, man. Honest to God. Anybody working with you, I'm sure is getting plenty of value. Adam, let's do some quick hitters and then we'll walk you out of here. You've been really gracious with your time this morning. And then we're gonna do the lifestyle tip with Johnny Anderson. So Adam, coffee or workout first and then workout for you? Coffee or workout first?
Coffee.
Black or with sugar and cream?
Black. I don't have time for calories in the morning.
Dude. Yeah. I don't have time for calories in the morning. That is awesome.
That sounds like a phrase that I could be, except for I'm always bringing calories down, though. That goes against them. I bring them in as first when I wake up, but that's a doozy saying right there.
Adam, do you have kids?
I have 2. I have a 13-year-old son, 9-year-old daughter. They're both freaking rock stars.
Nice.
So I love that you said that, and I'll tell you right now, I believe that. Because if they're growing up hearing the words coming out of your mouth, and Johnny probably watching the actions of their father, I know we always talk, our kids watch instead of listen. I'm suspecting, Anderson, that his kids are observing what Hurd is doing. And I'm suspecting, Anderson, there's a couple leaders coming out of Long Island in the future.
100%. Our kids don't give a shit what we say. They just watch what we do.
Yeah,
you got it now.
That's awesome. Worst business advice you believed in your 20s. Here's a good one for you, pal.
Worst business advice.
Yes. Go stand outside the building and wait for the guy to come in and then try to sell him something.
The worst business advice I believed in my 20s was that if you go get educated, you're entitled to get promoted or get more out of life. You're not. It's you have to actually do the work, and what you learn doesn't matter if you can't execute on it.
Dude, man, you're good. Tom handles mindset. You handle business. Who gets more panic calls?
Tom, because when people freak out, they know he's mom and I'm dad. I'm just gonna beat him up and say, "Go do the thing."
I love your analogy. Yeah. Who's mom? Who's dad? That's a really good way of putting it. Actually, that's it.
Yeah, Johnny, and even better, says, "Go do the thing." I don't even know what it is. Just go do it.
Yes. One business book everyone should throw in the trash.
Oh, throw in the trash? That's the greatest question.
Dude, I gotta say, brother, these fucking questions are getting good. Jesus Christ, Keith.
Dude, Johnny, while you were on the shitter last night, I was fucking working, man. You talking about?
Dude, I've been on the fucking shitter all night, all fucking morning. I'm about ready to shit my pants right now. When I got here, I'm texting Terry like, what do I need to do to stop this freaking water from coming out my hindside?
Adam, well, we're talking even relationships here. I'm busy doing the research, and Anderson's busy pumping the research out. So, anyways, what's your worst business book, brother?
This one right here, The Atomic Game Changer. It's a horrible read. You're not really going to enjoy it, but if you actually go through it, you'll probably become a better person.
Oh, Adam, you're awesome, man.
That was fucking slick.
That was really good, man. Because
Johnny, that was slick.
I was wondering if he was going to throw another best-selling author under the bus, Johnny, with that question.
I mean, you might as well throw yourself under the bus and get a shameless plug simultaneously,
Oh man, Banker Adam versus Coach Adam. Who'd win in a negotiation?
Banker Adam, because he didn't care about the consequences and the collateral damage in front of him, and now I have meaning and purpose in my life.
Oh, you know that you just unlocked another visit by what you just said.
Hey man, I appreciate you having me today. I'd love, you guys are amazing. You're right up my alley. There's no nonsense. So you want to invite me back, I'll show up.
But that last statement tells me a lot. That tells me, and I know it tells John Anderson a lot too, because if you went through your journey in life about purpose and stuff, man, that's a good one. So let me go to this one though. I'm going to come back to that one in the future. You're going to like this one. If purple collar is blue and white, what color is a CEO who's actually lost?
You don't wear a collar. The other people who are helping you get it done, you do, because you got to roll up your sleeves, get dirty, and do the work that's necessary to have success for everybody in the organization. It ain't about you anymore.
Oh, Adam Thomas Hurd, when you're laying in bed at night, having traded that banking VP security for the uncertainty of entrepreneurship, having gone from advising on finances to literally changing people's lives, what's that one client transformation story that makes you think, yeah, this is exactly why I burned the boats and I never looked back? Because there's one. I know there's one, Adam. What's that one for you?
Yeah, there's this one gentleman named Ed Maddox. He runs Maddox Architecture. He has been a participant of all 8 of my businesses. So I've watched him from a baby to a man. I have watched him from struggling to success. He takes the advice, he makes it his own, he takes the action. But the most important thing is he shows up, he trusts the process, and he does the work. And every time he does that, he gets better. And that's what I want out of everybody. That's why I love him. It's not about how many millions he made. It's that he actually puts in the work and he values what we do. And he doesn't take it verbatim and go execute it. He challenges us to say, why is this right for me? Which makes me a better coach.
Adam Thomas Hurd, man, you just said something too, which again, I'm going to invite you back for. So meaningful because not enough of us men have these things and say these words enough. But you said about Mr. Maddox, that's why I love him. Dude, I appreciate you saying that because often we don't express those words. So when you express those words, you encourage other male leaders, other CEOs, other men in our, in the community we're trying to build, in the community you're trying to build, to use that same kind of language, Adam. So I applaud you for that language, brother, because it's intent. When you use that, it's intentional, and I can feel that, and I appreciate you saying that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Adam Thomas Hurd from Long Island joining us this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. Adam, where can folks connect with you, find you, engage with you, and hire you, brother?
Yeah, so the best way is LinkedIn. And look, we're everywhere and anywhere, but here's one of the things that I have recognized in the last 4 years of building this business, that if you don't have one channel of communication, you don't have a channel of communication. Be disciplined. Stay on one thing. Make that your platform. LinkedIn is mine. You can find me at Adam Thomas Hurd. I'll be the guy staring at you all evil with the black and white, in the blue circle, Adam Thomas Hurd on LinkedIn.
I love it.
I'm the only one that communicates in those DMs. If you go to any other one of my other channels, it's my team doing it. So you're going to talk to either a bot or some person we hired somewhere else. On LinkedIn, you get me and only me. So if you want to talk to me, hit me up there.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, what do you got going on today in your world? You got a busy world today, or is it middle of the week? What's going on for you, brother?
Today's amazing because my business partner is on his first day of vacation. So it's going to be really quiet. I get to be a visionary all day long. I just get to be Adam. I don't have to get told, hey, you got to show up to a podcast, read the instructions, and be there on time and know what the fuck you're doing. So I'm going to make a lot more mistakes, but enjoy them for the rest of the day.
Adam Thomas Hurd, dude, I hope you can hear through my words how sincere and grateful that I am that you joined us today. And I know, because I think we're drinking the same no-calorie coffee, that you take all my jesting with you with love. So the next time we have you back, we'll make sure we send you the second chapter on how to get you on the show quicker next time, my brother.
I'll make sure Tom reads it. Thanks for having me, John. Appreciate it.
I'll make sure Tom reads it. And Johnny, yes, I will pass on your number. Adam, you don't know our relationship, Keith and John, the mom and dad relationship here, but I'm actually John's assistant. So I will connect you two off the show so that you guys can have each other's phone numbers, just in case John, if he ever has any, because
what he's saying is, when a really fucking cool guest comes on, I instruct him to give that guest my phone number, and you're one of those. He didn't even have to ask. He knew I was going to ask. He didn't wait.
Yes,
that's a huge compliment.
Yes. And Adam, me and my husband have never met before, so we just do well. We air our dirty laundry on the show every
so here's the question, brother.
Yes.
Who's the pitcher and who's the catcher in this relationship?
Yeah, well, there you go. Now we're talking.
So I'd like to. So maybe that's the conversation we have to have Tom back with Adam on the show, so Tom and Adam can share with us who's the catcher and pitcher in their relationship. Adam, lots of love, brother. You have an awesome day, man. Thank you for starting your day with us this morning. Okay.
Thanks, fellas.
Good shit, brother. Good.
Let me ask you one question before we go. How can me and Tom and my audience help you guys?
Oh, what a great question. Thank you so much. So we're going to send you a package of content after the show. If you can share that on your feeds and tell everybody you know about the greatest morning show platform we're trying to build here, Mornings in the Lab, and tell everybody to tune in. And, hopefully we can grab some coffee later today. I've got some things I want to talk to you about. I love the stuff that you're doing. And but the best way you can support us is just tune into our show here Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Trying to do some crazy things, Adam. And I think if you pay attention, you're a smart business guy behind the scenes. You start seeing what we're doing here. I think you might be curious to lean in a little bit more. So I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you a lot.
All right, Keith. All right, John. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
All right, Jimmy, let's walk Adam out of here. And we're going to do the lifestyle tip with John Anderson here. And apologies to Marty. We had some troubles getting Marty into here this morning. Marty was a little bit late with some technical difficulties, but we'll get that sorted out here. But Jimmy, I think Johnny's going to do a lifestyle tip. And then Johnny, do you need some water treatment in the restroom there again? Or are you?
Yeah, I need to go to the toilet after but yesterday you told Jimmy just to cut me loose after this. So let's see if he remembers. Remember that?
I do. So let's do the Adam Thomas Hurd is fucking nugget, man. Like that dude was just dropping nuggets left and right.
Dude, and I was with him having trouble getting on the show. I did not expect the fucking rock star he was going to be when he got here. Holy shit.
And both. I got him. So I know because I was kind of.
You were busting him up, dude. You were busting him up. You know, obviously, had we known him, we'd have been like, "Come on, baby, come on, one step closer."
I was a little bit irritated, and then I'm like, "Oh,
I can tell. I can tell." I mean, shit. Well, you had a rough morning. Jesus Christ, Marty couldn't get here. I'm shitting up a storm. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Terry's been up all night, so she's texting me. She's worried. She's like, and I know what it is. I did a fucking test last night with fat loading with olive oil, and my body says, "No, you are done, dude." You know.
And then I gotta say it. And then I show up this morning, and Jimmy's like, "Hey, I don't have the opener. I forgot." I'm like, "Dude, how do you forget the opener? We just didn't start the show yesterday." So, Jimmy, I'm laughing with you, man. Everybody's fucking laughing today. So let's do this.
Well, you know, check this out, dude. This my situation is so aggressive. Very worried, like she thinks I need to go to the fucking doctor. I'm like, I'm texting her, settle down and go back to sleep, please. Yeah. I'm getting on the fucking show right now. You know,
the doctor. You mean your neighbor, the one that did surgery on Terry a few weeks ago?
He's a surgeon. She wants me to go. She wants me. You know, he actually. Remember, I told you he actually did surgery on my on 4th of July. That was pretty cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he came and I had this. I guess it'd be like a mole, and I would when I would shave, I'd clip this fucking thing. It would bleed. He came and cut that thing off me on 4th of July.
Fuck. Do your lifestyle tip. Jim, I'm going for a piss.
All right. This one may hit a little hard, but if this is you, you need to be listening. If you are not getting the job in the bedroom because you don't have the energy to do it, you're probably not getting the job done in a whole bunch of other areas in your life. It's time to look yourself in the mirror and yesterday's would have been great too, because yesterday, if you looked in the mirror and you didn't like what you saw, you're probably that guy that doesn't have the energy to get the job done in the bedroom. But what I'm getting at is this. If you're failing in these important parts of your life, when I say failing, you're not putting in the effort to get the job done. It's happening in other places. Think about what's happening with your kids. Think about what's happening with your profession. The list is going to go on and on. So if you're that guy that's too tired to be intimate with your wife, it's really time to be honest with yourself. It's time to make a change in your daily life. How do you live your life? Your daily loop. Are you living in a way that's not allowing you to be the person you need to be for the ones you love? Because there's too many people out there that are doing this. So again, if you don't have the energy to get the job done in the bedroom and be intimate with your wife, it's time to make a change. That's all I can say. Rock and roll.
What if the most exhausted person in your house isn't who you think it is? Every morning, millions of fathers drag themselves through another day, believing they're just weak or failing at this whole parenting thing. Breakthrough research using objective sleep tracking has uncovered shocking truths about who really suffers most during those brutal early parenting years, and why conventional wisdom about surviving on no sleep is not just wrong, it's dangerous. But neuroscientists and physicians have cracked the code on energy optimization, revealing 5 specific strategies that can transform how you function. The battle is real, but it's winnable.
As we're talking lack of sleep here as we're raising our children, and I thought I'd have a fun conversation here today about energy optimization, the 4-hour sleep survival guide. You know, we're big proponents here of how to get ahead in life. Yes, I did say get ahead in life. That's a whole other conversation for a different day. We're talking about getting ahead in life, and it all starts with sleep, you guys. We all know it starts with sleep. We all know that we look and we laugh, and Johnny and Keith and Marty joke about it all the time on the show that, you know, every single week there's a new fitness fad, there's a new nutrition fad coming out there. One of the big reasons for that is because the reality of moving forward in life is actually quite boring. Yep, true story. It's why we have the morning loop. Get to sleep, eat your whole nutrition foods, do it again every single day. Sleep, eat good foods. So I wanted to lean into the 4-hour sleep survival guide. Now, some of you might be thinking, and some moms and some women tuning in going, really? dads are talking about the 4-hour sleep survival guide, even though the moms do most of the time raising the kids, or maybe not. But I wanted to have a chat with you guys about how we can survive and thrive as a dad on just 4 hours of sleep, knowing that raising our kids, being a CEO, being an accidental CEO, as Adam Thomas Hurd became one day, thriving on 4 hours of sleep is literally and actually and very much a monumental challenge. Now, while chronic sleep deprivation itself is not sustainable or healthy, there are practical strategies that I want to throw on the table for you guys to help optimize, to help consider getting through those inevitable short sleep nights. So guys, if you're stuck with that 4 hours of sleep, whether it's because of kids or whether it's because of business or whether it's because of work, one of the things that you might want to consider doing as you get your day started is get up, get moving, and get outside for some light, right? Light, movement, and hydration. Evidence and science will tell us and suggest that exposing yourself to sunlight as soon as possible after waking, that natural light helps reset that body clock, right? And if we get into a good habit, and I'm really trying hard not to mansplain any of this, just literally putting some good science and creating awareness for us today, that natural light helps reset that body clock, right? It reduces the melatonin, the sleep hormone, and it's going to boost that alertness. And then guys, crush that glass of water. So my morning, here's how my morning starts. I get up, crush my coffee, get a little bit of light, get some movement in, crush some water, and my day is off, right? So that to me, regardless if I'm getting 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours, to me, that non-negotiable is my constant. And then of course, that light exercise, right? And again, I want to talk about nutrition, not being, being repetitive, but repetitive drives results, right? Repetitive drives results. Eating small, balanced meals. Guys, in my experience, and I'm suspecting in your experience, when you're not sleeping, you're waking up, you're chasing bad choices. You're waking up and maybe you're chasing bad choices in the pantry. Maybe you're chasing bad choices in the fridge. Maybe you're chasing bad choices on Skip the Dishes or Uber Eats or something like that. So what you may want to consider doing is finding ways to have nutritious snacks available, ready to rock and roll. As Johnny has had pocket meat, nuts, stuff ready. Because when you're not sleeping, or if your sleep is going to be broken in the middle of the night, you're going to wake up, you're going to be hungry. I know what's going to happen because I do it too. We reach for the garbage. So if we can be prepared not to reach for the garbage, those 4-hour non-sleeping nights as a new dad or a revisited dad is going to be difficult. All right, strategic caffeine use. Guys, you might want to consider using caffeine wisely. A cup or two of coffee in the morning can boost that alertness, but avoid the coffee later on in the day. Why? You might be finding yourself staying up as you're trying to get to sleep at night. Because here's the reality, guys. What we want to do is we want to try to create a consistent sleep pattern, right? The same time in the morning, the same time at night. And I know to some of you that tune in regularly, this is sounding repetitive, but the reality is it's true. And I got to tell you, man, guys, it took me hearing it from Anderson 1,000 fucking times before I did it. Yeah, it took me 1,000. Like, okay, well, I guess I keep hearing it. Maybe I should try it. Right? Maybe I should try the protein in the fridge instead of the crappy food in the pantry. So, there's a purpose for why we repeat ourselves. Repetition equals results. What I would suggest you might want to consider, and again, I'm here to offer suggestions and recommendations, as the good old Dennis Morton would say from Peloton. You guys are the ones who are going to make the decisions. What you might want to do instead of that afternoon coffee, maybe you want to consider a napa latte. In other words, grab a nap, right? Grab a nap, right? Try to grab 15, 20 minutes. Schedule as a meeting for yourself and don't be embarrassed about it. Share it with the world. I just had a nap. It was my meeting. We often are so focused on making meetings for everybody else. Make a meeting for yourself. Grab a nap, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I wouldn't sit there and make it 3, 4, 5 hours, but grab a nap, man. Grab that nap and invest into yourself. All right, continuing with this, some strategies on how to work through the day when we're lacking sleep, especially as a new parent or maybe even as a grandparent. Share those duties with your partner, right? Alternate or split those shifts so that you guys can each get a little more sleep along the way. As we know, as we're talking with Adam Thomas Hurd, that teamwork is going to reduce burnout. It's going to help you guys function better and it's going to help you achieve some big goals as a new parent, grandparent, or uncle or auntie along the way as you're moving through life without sleep. All right, optimizing your sleep environment. We talk often, guys, about this one as well. Keeping your bedroom cold and dark. Keep it quiet. Using blackout curtains, white noise, or earplugs to minimize disturbances. I got to tell you, I've never talked more about sleep than I have since I've been on this show, but I'm recognizing the value of it, and hence I thought this is a great topic to throw on the table, talk about sleep as well. Jimmy, let's bring Johnny back on the stage here and see what kind of advice Johnny has had. Johnny, I know you've been listening in. Go ahead.
100%. Yeah, dude, sleep, I got to tell you. Sleep, I've told you lately, I've been sleeping like a freaking baby. Like, I mean, I always sleep well because I'm committed to my bedtime.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But, you know, there's a difference between, I mean, sometimes you don't, I mean, I tell my clients, you don't know how bad you felt until I help you feel good.
Yes.
Well, I didn't understand myself that, I mean, I thought I was sleeping well because I was on, and for the most part I was, according to the standard of sleep. But now I've kind of uncovered this, holy shit, man. Like I told you, I lightly pissed the bed a couple nights ago because I was sleeping so deep. Yes. But I got to tell you how sleep is, it's the most, like, for people that want to get in shape, there's nothing that's going to help you metabolize more body fat or give you more energy on the planet than good sleep. And all of the things that you need to do to get it. And my latest thing is it's this peptide that I've been, my new project that I've been working on. And I'm happy to talk about this stuff now, because before I didn't want to talk about peptides because I didn't have a place where I could tell people to go get it. And if I talked about it, people go get it. And there's so much junk out there. So I just was quiet about it. But anyway, there's this, it's called tesamorelin. And it's basically what it does. It really helps the body release growth hormone, which is a great thing. It just prompts the body to do a little bit more. But holy shit, it puts you into a deep sleep. And I've done everything for sleep for freaking ever. Right. But then this little additive has just made it a whole nother step forward. And I got to tell you, man, it's like, even for me that I live the life, I do all the things, when I get this better sleep, I can feel the difference. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up peptides, Johnny. I think it's on tomorrow's schedule. Tomorrow, Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, I think I got a segment on tomorrow's show, The Power of Peptides. I think I have it on tomorrow's schedule for Morning Focus this time tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow. I'm going to put it out there. What are they? How do they benefit us? What are they all about? We're going to start the conversation around peptides. And Nation, here's what it is. Not to sell you, not to convince you. Our job is to
educate.
Educate, exactly. Thank you. Educate. More and more folks are talking about them. So we're going to bring them onto the show. John's, and what I like about John's experience is John is an experimenter. Right. So John's not afraid to do the things and talk about the things. So we're going to talk more about peptides, and we're going to start that conversation tomorrow. But Johnny, I want to stay on sleep here, man, because obviously with this morning show, sleep has been more important to me than ever. And in many ways, I'm actually grateful and blessed that I've made this commitment to this show, because it's taught me something that I sucked at, which was sleeping. Yeah. Right. And it's taught me to make it a massive priority, and it has been a game changer. But Jimmy, let's segue. Let's keep it going, brother. Let's segue into, we're not going to do a reset on the second hour, Jimmy. We're going to wrap up deep dive, because I do have interesting, Johnny, something I have been doing, which is breathing your way to a better sleep. The 5-minute bedtime hack that beats melatonin. Johnny, before
you said breathing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I have been leaning into this. I've been reading about it, and again, listening to you and doing my own research. But Jimmy, let's run the clip and let's come back and talk about breathing before bedtime. Jimmy, let's run it.
Jimmy, let's run it. We got to have fun as we're building.
Oh, I know we got to have fun. If we can't have fun, yeah, Jimmy, there's a clip there, man. Breathe. Yeah, there's actually a clip there. It's H1. Breathe your way to better sleep. The 5-minute.
In Jimmy's defense, he's got a lot more buttons to push now than he ever did 6 months ago. You know what I mean?
No question about it. Jimmy's got buttons to press every now and then. So listen, while he's doing that, I'm going to talk about this. So research shows that practicing 6 slow breaths per minute before bed can help you fall asleep faster. Now, I have read these Navy SEAL hacks and how to fall asleep instantly and all these kind of things, Johnny. I got to be honest, man. I've been trying this. And what I mean by it is, and I'm using the word intention, intentionally focusing on my breath before I go to sleep. And I didn't, and I know you might be thinking to yourself, like, fuck you, that's what I do all the time. I wasn't. I'd go to bed, my brain would be squirrely, and I'd try to go to sleep. I'd try to count sheep and all that kind of shit, right? But until I was intentionally focusing on my breathing, like actually paying attention, probably very similar to when you're sitting in the chair counting yourself in, dude, I start breathing, and next thing you know, I'm like, holy fuck, it's now the morning.
Dude, you know what I discovered? I discovered a way to put myself to sleep. Yes. My brain is a racer, man. My brain goes a mile a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it does, yes.
and I discovered a way to put myself to sleep in probably my early 20s. And it was because I would lay there and I would think, right? And I would think about shit that just like everybody else thinks. So you think of all the shit that's got you all wound up. And then it just, I don't know how, it just kind of dawned on me. I was like, think about something was really fun. But of course, at that age, I was like, I just thought about a sexual experience. So I literally, the first time I did this, I thought of the sexual experience, and it was the chick that I was seeing. We had this rockin' sex life, and I imagined this experience that we had. And it, it wasn't even that, only a couple months old. So it was so vivid in my mind. And I remember going through this, and I'm laying in bed. Next thing you know, I fucking wake up to take a piss. I'm like, holy shit, that fucking worked. Yes. So I quickly realized that if I could basically think about an encounter with such detail, I felt that I was there. My brain, now I know my brain was releasing all these chemicals that was like, this is fucking great. And it would relax me. I'd go to sleep. So my first real discovery of figuring out how to fall asleep was thinking about sexual experiences. Well, the truth.
I will tell you, after great sexual experiences with my lovely Lauren, I just fall asleep. I'm just going. Yeah. It just my oxytocin, everything is just
blaring. Yeah.
Oh man, I will tell you though, when I'm not involved in life expectancy work, unless I'm doing it myself, and when I have to fall asleep, I have been focusing on what I'm going to tell you right now, which is this idea of deep, slow breathing. So essentially, as I'm going to bed, I am focusing on my deep breaths, which calms the nervous system.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find my words here, but I'll just come back to intentionally. Like I'm intentionally in bed, Johnny, trying not to think about anything else except my breath. And I see Bernard's comment here, which is there's military breathing exercise to go to sleep that is supposed to work very well. And that's exactly it, Bernard. I lay there, Johnny, and I count it in. I'm like, and I swear I don't even get to like the sixth or eighth breath and I'm sleeping. And it's, I know it sounds so obvious perhaps to you, but it fucking works.
Well, but keep in mind, when you say it seems obvious to me, I think more of what would seem obvious to me is the intention, right? Because there's so many, the intention of doing something to fall asleep. That's the obvious part.
Good point.
What works for the person, you could sit there and think about sex, and next thing you got this rock hard cock, and you can't go to sleep at all.
Yes,
I was in that mind for some reason. Yes. I wasn't thinking about the sexual experience like I wanted to get off. That makes sense. I was thinking about the sexual experience like how wonderful it was, which just did this to me. But everybody's such an individual. I think the key is get in bed with the intention of doing something to fall asleep, rather than get in bed and go, fuck, here we go. I'm worried about my fucking bills. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that. And the brain runs to what's familiar. So if you've done that for years, your brain knows to get in bed and do that dumb shit as soon as your head hits the pillow. No, but train your brain to do it.
Dude, you just said it to me though. I have taught myself, and again, I'm talking about teaching an old dog new tricks. In my 50s, I'm going to bed. It's intentionally time to go to bed. Right. Yeah. And I got the hack here in front of me, how to bring it to practice. Like I'm literally probably very similar to your meditating. I breathe in for 5 seconds, for 4 or 5 seconds, and I breathe out. And I do it, the suggestion is up to 5 minutes. I don't think, Johnny, I'm breathing for 5 minutes before I'm sleeping. Like I really don't.
I would bet not, dude. I would bet not.
No, again, I wonder when you're in your deep mental state, when you count yourself in the morning, I wonder if there's times where you fall into, I'll use the word sleep in air quotes, but you fall into such an intentional state.
No, dude, there are times when I'm kind of, in that case, I would say I'm coming out. Like, I
Yes.
didn't. A lot of times I'll go in there and I'll kind of drift back out. Other times it's like that alarm is fucking telling me I got to move to my next task or I'm just pivoting in my morning routine, my morning, I call it morning love in my book. That's what I have it written in, morning love. But there are times when I get in there and I'm like, I almost feel like I went to sleep. The difference is I'm waking up, I'm charged. You know, a lot of times when you wake up, you're trying to get your wit about you, you know, what's up, what's down, that stuff, you know?
Yes, absolutely. So guys, there's some hacks for you guys. We talked about, you know, when rather being a dad or running a business and not getting sleep or living on 4 hours of trying to live on 4 hours of sleep, what are some hacks or what are some life tricks we can get after? You know, obviously being prepared with food. I know myself, and I'm wondering if Johnny is the same, or maybe not so much today, but back in his days of bad habit choices, when I'm lacking sleep, I make bad food choices. It's one begets the other. So if
100%, 100%,
it happens, doesn't it, Johnny? Because we're tired.
Yeah. You know, and I'm going to tease, since we're talking about bad food choices, I'm going to tease something for our peptide talk. So there's a peptide that I'm actually using right now.
Yes.
And it's, for me, it's been fucking life-changing because it's been 3 fucking weeks, almost 4. My food noise is fucking gone.
Define
not my appetite.
Yeah.
My food noise. That fucking thing that you know, when you know, that just kind of the thing that makes me stand in front of their fridge like this.
Yes.
I haven't fucking done that in forever. I haven't wanted to overeat. It's like, you know, it's just whatever it is. I mean, keep in mind this peptide has also been, they're working on the proof, but they're trying to show that it actually gets rid of compulsive, like addictive compulsive behaviors, which is really what our food fucking issues are.
Yes, that's fascinating.
So it could help with gambling too, for that matter. Supposedly.
Yeah. That's interesting stuff, man. Yeah, this stuff's intriguing to me, man, because they're you know, I want to be careful. I don't want to misspeak and offer wrong information out there, but it's not a drug. It's part of our. Peptides are naturally made in our body, right?
The majority of them are already pre-existing. There are synthetic ones, but you know, Huberman. Everybody understands how knowledgeable he is. He just was in a podcast saying that this peptide is like a wedge that fits in between us and modern medicine.
Well, I like that Huberman dropped the word like a messenger, like the peptide's the messenger in between. Yeah. Right? Like that. So it's taking the piece over here and the messenger's in the middle of it and connecting it over here. And I love the fact that we're now talking about it. And what I like about it, Johnny, is that we're not just quickly talking about, we're just it's now another drug to take. Hold on a second here. No, not a drug.
Yeah.
Right. So
what you could think of is like this is an even easier way to say it is there's, like Huberman said, the message, right?
Yes.
So these messages already exist. So we're saying, hey, let's send that message a little stronger, or let's send that message a little more, a little less. Yes. So you're asking your body, hey, let's release a little bit more growth hormone. You go to sleep, or hey, you know, let's ask the body to burn a little bit more body fat, or hey, let's not put so much inflammation in that knee.
I want to come back to your comment, but I do want to look into I want to come back to what you said here, but we got Matthew Road coming in with saying, Zazen meditation, including breathing, helps to both relax, meditate, and if appropriate, fall asleep. Think about starting with, and Matthew, this is exactly what I was doing, man. And it
100%.
Matthew, right? Think about starting with 6 hold 6x, 6 hold 6x, and then adding seconds to that, including visual. Matthew, I got to tell you, man, I have been doing that. And I swear it's helped me fall asleep. So I appreciate your comments because I'm right there with you. Yeah, Johnny. You know, back to the peptides though. I'm trying to find my words here. What I think people often get confused about, whether we're talking some of the GLPs, some of the the old school steroids from the past, any of these type of products that we as humans would take. What I'm hoping to do with our continued conversation with folks is that these are simply tools. You still got to put the work in. Like just because you're going to take a peptide or take a GLP doesn't mean that you don't need to develop any good habits. And that's to me where I get nervous with some of these conversations, is that sometimes folks think that they're just these magical, okay, I'm taking a magical peptide, or I'm taking a magical amino acid, or I'm taking something.
But you know where like the GLP thing comes from, and you're totally correct, is because the medical field, now that they prescribe those, say, hey, all you got to do is take this to lose weight.
Fuck off.
Check this out. I had a client, I'm not sure if I told this story, but I had a client that came to me a couple weeks ago on a GLP.
Yes.
And I said, okay, let's start phasing you off, because they had him on enough to fucking stun a horse. It was this clinic that was just ripping him for the price too. Anyway, I said, look, we're going to set some timers. I know you don't feel your stomach, but we're going to set these timers, and I'm just going to have you eat these 5 fairly small meals throughout the day. All I want you to do is look for, if you feel pressure in your stomach, that means we're eating too much, because you don't get hungry. You don't get that hunger signal, right? He really doesn't get that at all, but he can feel pressure, right? Dude, so this is a guy who had a problem with overeating, so he doesn't feel the hunger signal, right? But when he starts to eat, when he's not, immediately starts feeling better because he's not malnourished. See, if the medical field said, hey, let's give you this so you can stop overeating, but you have to eat enough to keep your body happy, that would be very different. They're saying, just take this. You're not going to be very hungry, so you won't eat much, which means you lose weight, which means ultimately these people get fucking terribly malnourished.
That's where I get concerned with the messaging, which is the quote unquote take this.
Yeah, 100%.
And then there's a period after that. Take this. Oh, that's it? No, just take this. No, but
and that's just even people in just general people think, oh, if you take anabolics,
yes,
you just, well, you're big because you take anabolics. Anabolics don't fucking show up to the gym for you. They don't fucking do your meal prep for you.
That's my point around these conversations, is that I know when even before I met you and Marty and I were talking about some of the GLPs and some of the Ozempic stuff, where I get nervous about it. And I'll give credit to Jory, because Jory reframed my mindset on this, which was, if this tool, let's use John, use you as an example. If this tool helps John, the fat son of a bitch, at least get to the clinic to have the conversation, then that's good, right? But what we need to convince John is that it's not just take this, period. No, John. You're going to take this, but you still have to eat the right food. You still have to go to the gym. You still have to go to sleep. You still have to drink your water. You still have to do all these things. This tool is just a tool. And then that to me is where
well, it's because money enters the equation, right?
I know.
As soon as money enters the equation, it's just, how can we get people to come in line for this? Well, as soon as you say, hey, we'll give you this, but you need to do X, Y, Z, that line gets short real quick.
Well, what also happens, Johnny, is that the line gets real short when the shortcut goes away. Oh, you mean it's not a shortcut? Oh, no.
For sure. 100%.
The show is actually Monday to Friday every single day for 2 hours, not just every now and then. Oh, yeah. No, you got to go to the gym every single day to get there. Oh, you mean I can't just go once a week? No. It's like the folks that are like, yeah, I'm going to train 3 days a week and I'm going to take the rest of the week off. Oh, so you're actually taking 70% of your life off.
Yeah, it's a thought process that surrounds pretty much it. Like you said, it's the whole idea of a magic button.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Hey, listen, it's 22 minutes after the hour here. Mornings Live with Keith and John, getting after every single day right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. You guys can join the conversation. You guys know 431-300-3005. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the phone number to Jimmy's phone so you guys can phone Jimmy and make sure Jimmy's on the ball on a daily.
I was going to say, maybe phone Jimmy when he's not fucking putting the shit up he's supposed to,
If we can't tease producer Jimmy, I don't know who the fuck we can, man. We just tease with love here on the show.
Everybody on the show gets teased. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. Shit. I'm glad you said that, because I've had some people off the show comments going, you guys are not too nice to some people sometimes. Like, if you don't think that Keith and John are nice, then you actually don't pay any attention. Like, you actually if you can't tell the love that we have for humans, then you guys all just don't even listen to it.
We're not telling anybody they're pathetic. We're not telling anybody. We're just saying, hey, let's pick up the pace a little bit. Let's focus on what's important. You know, we're promoting leveling up, and sometimes it's a swat on the chin to get that to happen.
Oh man, I got another guest dropping here in about 10 minutes after Johnny leaves here. So I did have a couple. So I'm just gonna look here. I did have a couple. Oh, I got a quick hitter for you, pal. We can throw on the table. So, dude,
real quick, when you say quick hitter, I just got to give you another compliment, dude. Your rapid fire questions are getting fucking good. They're not even rapid fire anymore because the guest has to take a few minutes to answer.
I know.
I was like, you got to rename these things, you know?
Hey, so I found something. So I'm going to throw somebody's name on the table that we don't talk often about. And I don't want to give the guy much, but we'll just throw him out there. So obviously Andrew Tate has a name on the internet and on the manosphere and so forth. And I bring him up for one reason. I found some interesting stuff, Johnny. So divorce rates are up in North America because women are waking up to these men that they married who have become misogynists through some of the content that they're reading online. And there's this, you know, we have influencers that are perpetuating this male, revisiting some of the things. Exactly, right? That women have a role to do this, women have a role to do that, and yet, you know, not the way that you celebrate Terry or your daughters, not the way that I celebrate Lauren and Piper and Brookie and my daughters, right? So there's these women that are that here's what's happened. Woman marries man, woman and man go through life. Man keeps reading some of this content on the internet last few years. Woman wakes up going, why is man ordering me around like I'm his object, like I'm his slave? Why is man not empowering me? Why is man treating me like a piece of shit? And women are going to divorce lawyers going, this guy is not the guy that I married. And they're finding that there's this content that continued to be perpetuated and that are changing conversations. You got the Rogans out there, you got the Andrew Tates out there. And listen, I'm not out there to piss on anybody. You know, Keith and Johnny do our thing. We're welcoming, you know, Lady Drew, whether, you know, whatever you are as a human being, trying to perpetuate common decency and common acceptance. I found it quite fascinating that there's this shift happening where women are waking up going, who the fuck are you?
Well, I think it starts with the, you know, the male. Yes. I mean, if you go to your partner, your wife, or whatever partner, let's call it that, you say, hey, yes, you know, let's define and discuss our roles so we're both happy.
Yes.
Understand what they are. Now lay the pedal down to that. But don't just go and assign roles to your partner because some fucking dude on the internet said so.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
well, if a fucking dude is not smart enough to understand that, the dumb son of a bitch deserves to get divorced.
I'll offer this, and I'll just say something however you guys want to take it. If you're going to sit there and listen to what Tate or Rogan has to say and is going to convince you to piss on your wife who you married, then brother, you got to go look in the mirror at your own self, man, because you got your own shit going on. If you can't, if you're going to go listen to some dude you don't even know, and he's going to tell you what to do. I don't know. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting that the divorce rates are happening there. What do you got going on today, pal? We're got the bottom of the hour here. We're going to walk you up. We're going to bring in our guest here in a few minutes. What do you got going on today?
God, that was a fast. I mean, I guess I was 15 minutes late today, but y'all apologize for. Normally, I'm here because I know I got that little window of you jabbering away, right?
You're always good. I knew there was something going on. I looked at my phone. Oh, yeah, Johnny's on the shitter.
Damn, yeah, I'm gonna have to. That was I mean, normally I'm squeezing out an extra one, but not like waiting for it to stop before I can get up off the toilet. You know,
dude, what did you eat last night? What did you eat? What did you crush?
I was doing a fat cycle test with olive oil.
Oh yeah, okay. So
that was my last meal is where I'll play with the fats because you know if I eat too much fat during the day, it feels like it kind of bogs me down. I'll load because I'll put it in my system. Then at night it can kind of load. So I've been toying with different types of fat loading. You know, nice. I've learned obviously too much of an oil. Like I know with coconut oil, it doesn't take much. It lights me up like a Roman candle like that. But I've been really digging the olive oil lately. It's been just been tasting good to me. I can tell my body's saying, yes, let's have some more of that. You know, when you get really dialed in, almost like a pregnant woman, because she's raising she's helping grow the fetus. Her body will say, I want that. Now, granted, a lot of females are saying, I want pizza. Rather than, I want, something that's nutrient based, but, you get these, they want olives or they want, some weird food because it has a nutrient that their body's craving. Well, I've been eating olive oil lately and I'm like, God, my body is wanting that. I can tell, I always find myself wanting finding ways to put olive oil in my food. So I was like, well, I'm gonna crank it up and see. But I think too much oil of any kind is going to create a digestive issue, and that's what I ran into last night.
I will confess to you, I have kind of an evening little snack that I eat, and you might cringe, or you might go, okay, I can deal with Uncle Keith having a little bit of that. It's my evening snack, because I had a wonderful, so last night's meal, dude, for dinner, Lauren made us a wonderful roast beef, some good fucking potatoes, grilled potatoes, some good vegetables, good healthy whole ingredient meal. But then for my snack, I do every now and then. I know you're an almond butter guy. I am too. I fucking love almond butter. There's that sweetness in it. I just got to stay away from it. So I go to my peanut butter, my Adam's peanut butter in the glass jar. So
that's a good one.
Oh, that's a great one, man. I take a scoop of Adam peanut butter. I put a little bit of chocolate chips, just a little bit of chocolate chips, a little bit of raisins, a little bit of oats, mash it together. I create like a cookie dough type.
Yeah, I was going to say it's almost something you could pick up, huh?
100%. And I just have a few spoonfuls of it. But dude, it's all fat. It's actually fat, right? And then, but it makes me feel good. And you know what it does for me, Johnny? It prevents me from going back to the pantry or the fridge for any other stupid shit.
And brother, I know exactly what we're talking about, and I'm excited to talk about this peptide that's fucking eliminated all that for me. Last night, so check this out. Last night, I basically, when Tara and I eat, I like to eat hot food when we eat with her. Most times I eat cold. I don't give a shit. I was basically. Yeah, I eat cold food all the time. You do, yes. We're dealing with all this extra food from the people being here, so we're kind of both just cooking what we want of all the leftover food. So I cooked a meal. I cooked a meal that was basically big enough for two. The normal challenge would be to eat the half tonight because the other half is for the morning.
Yes.
Normally that would be a fucking battle, right? To not eat the whole thing.
Yes,
dude. I left a bite behind of the first one, and it wasn't, and it was just to show myself that I don't even need to finish this one. And I'm sitting there going, "Who the fuck are you? I've never met you before."
John Anderson talking food struggles on the night before the big show.
Because I know plenty of people that have it, and it's like, I'm so happy to test this and be able to share my knowledge. And keep in mind, everything that I teach is something that I tested and developed and then share, all the way down to my dieting practices.
That's why I love having you with me as my partner in this project, and that's why I love going into the conversations about peptides, because we can use that as education from real life experiences with yourself. Hey, before you rock and roll, pal, I just want to bring you back to the top of the show. I got an awesome text yesterday, man. After our show ends, I got a wonderful text from Bernard, one of our the B Drive guy. The guy's in the B business, fucking fascinating, man. Yeah.
He sent me a video of him doing the B thing.
And he's like, dude, I had big news. I'm like, awesome, let's share it on the show. So this morning I called him and he shared his big news. He's got somebody in his industry has recognized him, and he's getting some big props here. So I wanted to share that with you because I know he's been quite proud of that. And
good job, brother.
And I wanted to share that with the community and end the show with you the way that we started it. And and Johnny, we got Matthew Road. How do you people sign up for private consulting for you both if you offer it? Yes. So Matthew Road, come connect. So connect with myself and or John on LinkedIn, please. You can find Johnny on LinkedIn, connect with myself. And Matthew, I will tell you this. If you want to connect with John directly, come connect with me first. I'll connect you guys independently.
I don't spend that much time. I'm going to be honest. I don't spend that much time on LinkedIn, and I do have an assistant that helps me stay on top of those messages. So, and it's really just to kind of call, and he doesn't have personal conversations, but he just kind of makes sure that people are, if I'm not there, people that are coming in aren't sitting there for days unread. So if you want to get to me directly, for sure, get to Keith and he'll connect.
100%. Do that, Matthew. And Matthew, I'm happy to help on the business AI side of things. I know John, and even lifestyle, and Johnny very much on the lifestyle, nutrition, fitness side.
Well, you know how it works, brothers. I'm going to basically help you personally level up to the point where you got more focus, more energy. You got all this to give. And then once you've got this extra RPM or this extra juice to give, you attach it to the business and the AI and fucking bam.
Well, you know what's crazy before you go, brother? I know I take it for granted because it's just like, I guess, air to me, and what I'm going to say to you too. But Dan Capello on Monday still said it, eh? there's business leaders and business dudes that still don't connect the dots. That success starts. My gym's on the other side of this wall. That success in business starts in there. And it still fascinates me that so many folks don't realize that if you want to run a successful business, you got to run a successful body. Body meaning brain. And when I talk body, guys, I talk emotion. You guys know me well enough. Emotional, relational, and physical, right? Or mental. I'm all four of them, right?
100%.
It fascinates me that people still don't connect those dots, Johnny. Seriously.
And it's 100%, you know, and part of the problem is that people think, oh, you know, it's hard to get in shape. It's hard to stay there. Well, no shit, because you're fucking doing it wrong. When you come to somebody who knows what they're doing, like under my wing, it's either going to be 6, possibly 12 months, and you're going to learn everything you know. You're going to be self-sufficient. That's what you need to find is self-sufficiency, not just some order to follow for the rest of your life. That's not a way to level up. Yes.
Well, and I will offer this too, guys. You know, read between the lines in all you want and what I'm going to say next, whether you're hearing this live or you're hearing it after. If you're looking for a quick fix with Anderson and Billis, go to another show. Like Keith and John don't do this every single day for not a reason. This is life. So if you want to be successful in life, it is an everyday thing. This is a 6-month commitment to John or Keith, or 12 months or 18. This is not a, hey, Johnny, I need to get 6 packs for my fucking vacation in 2 weeks. He's going to say, really good for you. Go talk to somebody else. Right, because guys, life and to change life, this is a long-term transformation. This is not a quick hit, Anderson.
You know, brother, this is kind of interesting. So we've never really looked at it this way, but this show is really boiled down to be the dynamic duo of Keith and John. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And
absolutely.
Never really looked at it like the fact that you and I partnered as a coaching tandem. You know, my specialty is helping the person level up. So he's got more energy, more focus, more time.
Yes.
Right. Then I pass them to you where you can basically take your knowledge, AI and business, and help 100%. That person really. Yes. Dude, this is the coaching combo that we never really looked at. This is the combo right here.
Well, there's no
between the two of us. It's like that thing of starting a business. I've got this section nailed. You've got this section. It's 100%. A perfect fucking thing. And it can be like a 6 month with me. They finish with me. They come to you for 6 months, and they are a fucking evolved creature in life and in business.
Hey, Nation. So the big guy there, he finally fucking turned the lights on. Like he finally realized that the business athlete was like, yeah, Anderson, it's been in front of you the whole fucking time, man. I'm the businessman, you're the athlete, man, and you put us together, and we're the ultimate business athlete. So yes, I'm with you, pal. And nobody.
Well, no, I understood the concept, but we've never laid it out like, look, if you want to level up, here's your coaches, the two of us.
Yes,
you're coming to me for the first 6, you're coming to Keith for the second 6, or possibly even overlap a little bit if we need to. But you know, we've had different concepts that we've talked about, but never this one single simple vein that is really, really easy to understand for people.
Yeah. Well, and listen, guys, you know, as Keith and Johnny, you know, continue with this here before we're going to bring in Nora DiNuzzo here in a quick minute. It's true, guys. You are not. So there's 2 things happening right now. You're not getting. There is not another morning show on the planet that happens like Keith and John show. Period. Point blank. Period. Secondly, and then secondly is there is more than likely not another coaching experience that you could get from the Mornings in the Lab business athlete team from Keith and John as well. You can go find an athletic coach, a fitness coach. You can go find a business coach, and you've met a lot of them on our show. But I'm going to invite you to find a package where you get both, right? Where you can go and get your business taken care of, your everything in business through my experience, and everything from a lifestyle, health-wise from John's experience. So, and we're not giving you shit. We're giving you stuff we've been through. So stuff we're going to keep talking about, and stuff we'll keep throwing on the table with Keith and John here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John, getting it after every single day. So Johnny, I'm going to bring Nora in. I'm going to walk you out. She has had a catastrophic morning like Jimmy, and well, clearly your ass as well. So you get out of here. And
I gotta go convince Terry that I don't need to go to the fucking doctor.
That makes me a little nervous when Terry's telling you to go to the doctor.
But dude, listen, in the middle of the night or early in the morning, she overreacts about everything. Christ, she hears some fucking sound. She thinks there's a fucking, you know, the militia's in the house. You know, go back to sleep, woman.
Go back. No, hold on a second here, Anderson. It's not go back to sleep, woman. No, we don't talk that way to our lovely wives. Go back to sleep, my lovely wife.
Well, but keep in mind in those situations where she does the same thing to me. Like if I'm overreacting about something, listen, pussy, go do what you need to do.
Oh, so we're hearing the pet names between John and Terry right now.
Yeah, I mean, she'll call me a pussy if I'm reading something wrong. She'll stiffen me up, and I'm happy. You know, when I call her woman, it's like saying, "Hey, you need to listen." You know, like one time and she's actually, we joke about this now, but she saw something on TikTok once that convinced her that something was fucking going crazy, like there was something real wrong with the world. And she woke me up. We were in a hotel, and I was like, trying to get a grip of like what's going on, and she's like telling me this and telling me that, and I was just like, woman, trying to get a hold of her, you know. And I said, look, if this is happening, we'll turn on the TV and CNN will be talking about it, so do that right now, you know. But until I called her woman, she wouldn't turn on the TV.
Good thing she's getting her sources of truthful content from TikTok.
Dude. Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, there's that part of like that when you're almost asleep or just she was just falling asleep where your mind is so she hears something in the house. In her mind, it goes from, oh, it was nothing to the worst scenario on the planet, right? Well, but it happens not just her, it's people. This is what happens.
I know.
And so when I'm doing some stupid shit like that, she calls me a pussy. When she's doing that, I call her a woman.
Oh, man, this is funny, man. This is funny. And you're right, B-Drive. People pay thousands and thousands of dollars for the access and the knowledge that Keith and John drop here every single day for free. That's a true story. And I listen, that's not lost upon me. Melissa from time to time is like, you guys are just off. And even Flynn back in the day, she's like, you guys are offering so much free stuff every single day. I'm like, I know. Right. So anyways, all right, we're going to bring in Nora. Johnny, you have yourself an awesome day, man. You take care of yourself, take care of your ass, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern time, Mr. Anderson.
I'm with you, brother. I don't listen. I don't like to be fucking late. I bust myself up for that. But I figured me being a few minutes late is being better than creating some sort of an accident going out on live fucking television, so to speak.
It's all good, brother. You have yourself a good one. We'll talk to you along the way. Okay, pal?
You got it, brother.
I'm looking forward to your scans of your skull whenever you get to them.
Shit.
Get out of here.
Have a good loop, brother.
You too. All right, Jimmy, let's reset here. All right. We got somebody coming up who has had a catastrophic morning. I see her. Uh-oh, Jimmy, did we lose her? Let me see her. Oh, no, I still see her there. We got Nora DiNuzzo coming up, the founder and chief strategy officer of Pitcher and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That's a band. I like Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Hey, Bernard, you know Blood, Sweat, and Tears? Good band. All the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Her expertise is growth consulting for small to mid-size businesses and agencies. Notable achievements, she's got over 15 years in advertising, leading growth and business development, and she's founded Pitcher in 2021. Jimmy, let's bring her up. Morning to Live with Keith and Friends is excited to bring in Nora DiNuzzo without the headphones.
What happens when a former advertising VP decides that small businesses have worked too hard for growth to be this hard? Every day, ambitious entrepreneurs hit invisible walls that stop their momentum cold. They're grinding harder but growing slower, trapped in cycles that drain their energy without delivering breakthrough results. Through her diagnostic tool, Vitals, Nora DiNuzzo has analyzed over 40 growth-impacting factors across hundreds of businesses. Discovering that sustainable scaling, her Nora Nuggets reveal that breakthrough growth comes from long-term strategy over quick fixes, relationships over algorithms. Today, discover why your next level isn't about more sweat, it's about smarter strategy.
Nora DiNuzzo joining me this morning on Mornings in the Lab. What's going on, Nora?
Hey, Keith. How's it going?
How has your catastrophic morning gone? And hey, I'm just going to say this to you. There's no reason for you to be any different. Johnny Anderson, my co-host, was running 50 minutes behind because of some olive oil that got through his body, so he was delayed. Jimmy Jimmy, because it's Jimmy's first day on the job, decided to forget a bunch of things that we do every single day. So, it's been catastrophic for all except for Uncle Keith. He got to bed in good time, was up and getting out of here today. My first guest couldn't figure out the instructions, and now you had some trouble with the instructions. Dude, what's going on a Wednesday here on the planet? Nora DiNuzzo.
What's going on in the universe these days when things like this happen? I'm like, what is up, universe? So yeah, I don't know. Well, Waste Management decided to hit the Xfinity cable lines this morning in my neighborhood while collecting trash. So I had no internet. So then I had to drive down into the city into my co-working space. So yeah.
Well, thank you for the effort. Thanks for joining me on the show here today. So grateful to have you on the show here with us today. So, I got to look here. As I was doing my little research, and for your appearance here, we obviously, did a little bit of community corner celebration.
I hear you're a researcher. Hit me. What did you find?
Nora's Nuggets, eh? So, who is the crony were they self-described Nora's Nuggets, or did somebody say, "Oh, that's a nugget from Nora"?
No, multiple people call them that, and I'm like,
love it.
On their own accord. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? So yes, I guess everyone loves alliteration, but yes, I do drop the nuggets, or like I like to say, sprinkle the seeds. There's this really good GIF that's like, it's like sprinkling the seeds. So yeah, I'm more of a farmer, if you will, than a hunter. We could talk about that.
I like that. Yes, yeah.
Definitely
we talk about sprinkling seeds here all the time on the show because we're all about life expectancy work on this show, because we know that if we as humans are having, if we're spreading the seeds, we're all living a little longer in life. So, that's what we like to talk about often here. Show. Where are you joining me from today, Nora? Like literally, where are you here today?
Oh, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I'm glad that you said home of the Penguins, because a lot of people would lead with the Steelers. You're Canadian, yes?
Yes,
so you're thinking,
yes.
We love the Penguins. Oh my gosh. So when they did their first first of like the generation that I'm in, Stanley Cup run against the Red Wings.
With Mario.
Yes, this was Sidney Crosby's time. Like I'm 41, so like I wasn't here in Pittsburgh for like the Mario Lemieux days, but like the Sidney Crosby, days, that run of the Stanley Cup. So we would walk up from our apartment to this dumpy little bar called Silky's, and they had like a tiny little TV on an AV cart that they wheeled onto the sidewalk, and everyone would like pull around on the sidewalk watching it. And we watched like Game 7. I think it went to Game 7.
Oh, I love it. I don't get a chance to talk a lot of hockey with my American friends, so this is awesome, man. This is so what brought me to it is there's some news in your market these days that Lemieux might come back to the ownership group of the Penguins again, which is pretty fascinating, actually, which is pretty cool. So
he's so big in our community here. Yeah, I mean,
right?
There's so much he does here, and quietly too. He's like, he's like just a really cool, quiet like presence here. And I think Sidney Crosby is like he's following in his footsteps. So
I'm a huge fan of Sidney Crosby as well here. So speaking of huge fans, dude, so I got to tell you, man. So the name of your company, Pitcher and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So you said you're 41. I'm 53. I grew up with an awesome band, Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
See, I wasn't of the era where I listened to the band, but the name is based on the idea. I worked at advertising agencies my whole career, and the idea is that I was with all those founders that poured their blood, sweat, and tears into building those companies.
Yes.
Literally, they missed their kids' baseball games.
Yes.
They went through the divorces. They went through like the drug and alcohol problems, like all to like build this business that at the end of the line has no value. You can't sell it. You can't retire. Like, what is that? And so the idea being is like, I want to help those people that I worked with my whole career get something out of what they've built. And so that's what the name means. That's what it's about. But also a cool band from the 70s.
100%. So I took a different path. I would not expect you to know my story, but I was also in the advertising marketing industry. I built a social media company. I sold it to Aegis Media, who then sold to Dentsu and was part of, obviously, the big three holdcos.
Yeah. You did holdco. I was always indie. I'm indie AF, only indie. So
so I built big social company, exited for 50 mil. And so I was one of the guys who did the exit, and one of the guys, but I was also one of the entrepreneurs who did the journey of divorce and all that stuff. So I can relate to, but I wasn't doing it for somebody else, where I find many people get mistakes. I'm going to go work for that company, make a bunch of money for them, and go, hold on a second here. Why don't you go do it for yourself instead? Right. So
yes, Keith. Yes. So I stopped kind of counting after 50 million. I'm sure it's now somewhere between 50 and 100, but I made other people 50 million.
Yes.
While I worked for them. And then you kind of have a realization one day and you're like, I could just make like a fraction of that for myself. And that would be pretty cool.
Yes. But I will tell you, because I got this conversation coming up tomorrow or later this week. That's actually not, so to the outsider, it's the big deal. But that was the Friday for me. The Monday I showed up and I was like, okay, I'm still fucking lost. Right. So I thought my whole purpose in life was to make a bunch of money. And then I'm like, holy fuck, no, I'm actually pretty lost. I'm a lost human being. So that's a whole other host of problems and challenges that come up with that situation. Right. So I pulled the glasses off to create the relatability there. But yes, it's that, okay, so you did it. And then Monday you're like, oh, so now what? A whole other host. I say
that all the time. I hear that. I mean, I guess everyone aspires to get to that point where they're like, and now what is my life? But I think if you can figure it out along the way and start like nurturing that future life for yourself, like that's the idea.
But that's what this show has become, is the purpose. It's to help other folks find and continue their journey and joy. But I do want to segue to something that, as I was doing my research on the Nora Nuggets, I got to tell you, man, when I look at your messaging, you're very consistent with something. And I don't know if you realize this, but you consistently emphasize that growth. And I love this is what I'm calling it out, because we were talking about, as you were figuring out your tech here, growth isn't 6-minute abs. This mantra has become a cornerstone, clearly, of your philosophy. And I got to be honest, do you realize how often it surfaces in your content? Like, you are very much about that statement. I don't even know if you realize it as much as you do. And I got to tell, I'm going to use the L word. I love that about you, because so many folks want the shortcut. But fuck, man, I say this: if you want to start a business, go run a marathon or climb a mountain first. And tell me if you can get through that first before you want to start a business, because it's not done in 6 minutes. Nora.
No, and actually that literally is a headline in one of our slides. And it's about how long different growth tactics take to come to fruition. Because a lot of times when we're consulting any kind of business on growth, but agencies in particular, because the pace is really high and it's like, we have to like make numbers, we have to make our forecast. And it's always like, tied to speed. And it's like, okay, but hold up. Like you said, you tried emailing, you tried blogging. How long did you do it for? Oh, we tried it for 3 months, kind of on and off. It was like pitch season, maybe 6 months. Okay, you should have spent 18 months doing that before it would actually have taken root. So it's like, it's this idea, and I teach this a lot too: confidence times consistency times time. It's the time part that people miss. And then people will throw up and go, you see, growth doesn't work. Growth doesn't work. Well, you tried it on and off for 3 months when you should have been trying it for 18. So of course it didn't work. Of course it didn't work.
You know what I love about this too is that we don't know how long time takes until we do it. Right. Yes. And that's what I find people struggle with, which is what do you mean you do a daily morning show every single day? I just want to do a podcast. Okay, you can go be like everybody else.
Oh, you're doing reps. You're putting in reps, Keith. So like this is about reps. Yes. And so, I love the concept too of 10,000 hours. I think that came from Malcolm Gladwell. 10,000 hours concept to become, how do surgeons become as good as they are? How do pilots become as good as they are? They have to train. They have to put in reps. How does any like really serious athlete get ready for a really serious race? They put in reps. And so like growth actions, strategies, and tactics, like it is reps based. You will not hit millions of dollars in your forecast unless you put some process in place and you just do those reps consistently. When you stop and you start and you stop and you start, it's like a flywheel. It's heavy to get it moving. It's hard to get it moving, but once you get it moving, then you have the momentum. When you kill your momentum all the time by stopping and starting, of course, you're not going to have success.
Yeah, so good, so good. Nora DiNuzzo joining me from the home of the Penguins, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this morning. She co-founded Blood, Sweat, and Tears in 2023, focusing on agencies aiming to scale. She developed Vitals, a diagnostic tool analyzing 40 growth impacting factors. She consulted over 100 Black-owned businesses through the Reparations Race Initiative. But Nora, I want to lean into Vitals for a few moments. Talk about this tool you've created and the value that it brings to the market.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. And I have to give credit to my co-founder, Eric Brown, who's not on the show with me today. But Eric and I talked about the need for diagnosing before you prescribe. Like, to do another medical analogy, if you go to a doctor with a headache, you don't want them to just cut your head right open. You want them to figure out what's wrong with you before they prescribe the solution. Sometimes it's Tylenol, sometimes it's brain surgery.
Yes.
So that's what Vitals does. Basically, everyone who is not growing as fast as they want to be can see it in their P&L. You can read it right there, plain as day, but most people don't know why. And they also don't understand the comorbidities, like, to use another medical analogy. So, think about it. If you are pre-diabetic and overweight and you have high cholesterol and you have high blood pressure, these things like compound on each other. So it's not just like this and this and this, it's this plus this times this to the power of this. And so there's actually 40 factors that we measure with the Vitals Growth Readiness Assessment. And those 40 factors like all compound each other. So we look at all of them together, and then we're able to really read it like a map and say, this is why you're not growing. This is what you have to fix. This is what you're doing well. Like double down on that or leave it be. It's fine. You don't have to touch it. What you need to fix, what you need to shore up as far as the cracks in the foundation are these things. Until you fix these things, growth's not going to happen for you.
Love it. Nora DiNuzzo dropping nuggets. Nora nuggets here. Jimmy, before we're gonna do some quick hitters with Nora. I got a question for her about AI, and then we're gonna get to who she's celebrated here in the community corner creator spotlight. Nora, AI is everywhere. Obviously, these two letters seem to be perpetuating language all over the place. I'm curious. I like to ask this question of everybody because we all have our opinions on this, including my own. With AI becoming prevalent, how do you maintain this human element, and what are you seeing happening in the world of AI in your industry? Nora.
This is a great question, Keith. So I was just on another show this week with Carl Ponto, and we were talking about how this phrase we both share and have learned over time and share with others, which is that B2B is still H to H. It's human to human. So even with AI coming into play, until the robots are literally talking to each other and making decisions with each other, you're still a human being talking to another human being. And AI at this point is the technology in between that can facilitate, those conversations, that can facilitate the knowledge transfer going faster and being more efficient. But at this point, we're not having conversations with robots. Actually, I think my husband was having a conversation with a robot this morning at Xfinity, and he was very mad that he couldn't get to a human. I'm telling you, he was pissed off that he could not get to a human being to tell them about this condition that happened because it wasn't part of the standard menu of options.
Yeah.
And so, all of my clients are using AI. They're all experimenting with them. This conference that we go to every year in New York, Miran, it's a great conference for agency business developers. Like 2 years ago at Miran, everyone was talking about like how you could apply AI, and it was all theoretical. And this year it was all like, how have you done it, and what are you doing, and show your work. So I think, the pace is really accelerating. We need to be all, aware of it, experimenting, but remember, it's still a tool. It's not the solution. It's a tool.
Yeah, I have some strong opinions on it. I'd like to perhaps share with you for a couple minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I come from the world of social. I successfully built a social media agency before YouTube was even YouTube. I started social before Facebook was Facebook. I pride myself in being able to see what's perhaps around the corner and what's around the corner in a couple of years. I'm a vociferous nerd about reading. I said this to my colleague this morning. It's clear to me today on July 16th, 2025, the internet it's dead. It's actually dead.
That's a point of view I've heard. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm now more convinced than ever it's dead. How do I know? Because I'm doing something not many people are doing. I do a day. So I'll put it out there for you. I create 40 podcasts a week. Think about that for a second.
Unbelievable.
I'm not saying that braggadociously. I'm saying it because I'm spending a bunch of time learning and reading and learning and reading. And because of the content that I create, I need stuff to talk about, and I need content to create. And it's quite incredible how quickly the news and the internet is dying, and people aren't really paying attention to it. And I can tell you that, with all respect, there's more AI talking to AI than we don't even think about. I don't know if you've used Perplexity's new comment. I don't know if you've used Perplexity's new comment browser, but I used it here in the last week, and it's an actual game changer. So, you don't need an app anymore. You don't need a website anymore. It all happens in the chatbot. So I log into Perplexity and it goes into Higgsfield. It goes into all my tools and does it all for me. It does it all for me. It logs into LinkedIn on my behalf and talks to you. It logs into X and does it creates all my lists. It does actually everything for me. My interface, true story, Nora DiNuzzo, because I am fucking doing it myself as a human being. I sit in one chat box and it does everything for me, and I wouldn't cut the grass. And not a metaphorical, I wonder when I can do it. No. I am doing it. So people I'm telling you right now, man, people have, pardon my language, no fucking clue how quick the world is changing, especially in your world, my world of marketing and advertising, in the white collar world. It is. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy fast. It's crazy fast. But like, how do you feel about that though? Like, do you feel, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I feel like the pace right now is what I have described to my coach as frenetic.
Oh my God. So
like,
again, I grew up in social.
So fast. Do you like feeling like that? Because like, I don't think freneticism, like as someone with high blood pressure, like it's a genetic for my family, I'm medicated. Like, I don't like feeling frenetic, and it actually like messes with like my heart rate and stuff. Like, do we have to feel frenetic in this?
Oh, that's a great question. And I'm glad you asked it. And it's timely you ask it. Cause I just spent the last weekend. I had a weekend of learning. What I mean by that is my family was gone. I literally sat down for about 48 hours and I learned some things that I needed to learn in order to grow this business. So to answer your question about frenetic, it hit me yesterday. I was like, holy fuck, I need to step back. The pace at how things are moving quickly. Like, I got to be honest. There's a lot of folks that are out there fucking golfing, going out there doing their shit. You guys are all getting left behind, man. And I'll say this to you, not to you, but just rhetorically. To people that are like dabbling in social media, like social media is not social anymore. There's no such thing as social media. It's gone. It's AI talking to AI, bots creating bots, bot creating content, talking to bots, my bot talking. Like, social media is gone. My point is this, is that folks that are just dabbling, I'm going to post a picture about my fucking meeting yesterday, or I'm going to go create some content. Just stop. I'll tell you why. Go spend time with your family, because you're going to lose to people like myself, Gary Vee, professional creators that are making content. Not like, social's gone. We're now broadcasting content. So back to frenetic, it is frenetic. But this is no different than when I started ICUC and sold it for millions of dollars. You're either in or you're out. And there's
that's true. I think that's for everyone to decide. How
100%, yes.
How are you?
Yes.
How are you? And what's the cost? Like, so with growth, there's always a cost.
Absolutely, 100%.
Every pitch you do, every time you get on a plane, everything you say yes to, every speaking engagement, that all has a cost. It has a health cost. It has personal costs. You've lived through some of those personal costs, so every single person has to weigh this. What's important to you in this world? Is it important to build an empire? Is it important to you to have really tight relationships with your family or friends? Is it important to you to have children?
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge.
No, but I'm glad you're saying that. But I'm glad you're raising that, because again, I'll talk to folks go, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. Got to do this. And then they'll dabble. And I'm like, stop dabbling. Because if you're dabbling, you've already lost. You can't dabble into this world's moving too fast right now to dabble. Go spend time with your kids, or go be a father, or go be a dad, or go be a mother, right? But to dabble, I don't think works in 2025. I really don't. But
I think you're totally right. You're totally right. I'll share with you. My husband used to work for Havas. Like, he came from.
Yeah, there you go. So same thing. World. Yeah.
He quit his job in October of last year. He's a stay-at-home dad now. He's
good for him.
He's freelancing on the side. But yes, we could not both be that frenetic. We could not both be that frenetic 80 hours a week. It was like Lord of the Flies at my house. Like, we taught my 5-year-old how to make toaster waffles. And we were like, what is this? Like, why did we even have kids then? Literally, like, why?
You're bang on, Nora. Yeah. No, you're so right. And I'm glad you said that, because, and I'm glad you related back to frenetic, because if you don't want to be frenetic, then don't, because you can't dabble and be frenetic at the same time. You're either in or you're not, especially how fast the world's moving right now. Like, there was things that I did last week that my team said to me 2 weeks ago, imagine if we can do this. And yeah, one day. And then all of a sudden Friday, okay, we can do it now. Right. And it's just the pace at how quick things are moving. Right. Yeah. Unless you're in it, you don't really see it. So, but listen, let's do some quick hits, and then let's celebrate the person you put on stage, which is why you're here today. Does that sound good to you?
Yes, that sounds great.
Let's do it. Biggest Nora nugget in life.
Oh man, in life in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
Okay, here. This is one. This is a momism I share with my kids all
Love
the time.
it.
When my kids say, "I'm bored," I say, "Only boring people are bored."
Yes.
So don't be bored. Read like Keith. Get out there. Go do. Don't be bored. There's nothing to be bored about. This world is full of interesting stuff to go do.
You sound exactly like my wife. She's like, bored? Use your brain. How are you bored? She's like, look around you. There's not. I love Lauren. She's like, there's nothing to be bored about. Just look around. She's like the exact same kind of mom response you'd give. She's like, bored? Look around.
Yeah, talk to a person. Literally, if you don't have your device as your safety net crutch, like talk to literally the human that's near you.
So good, Nora. Okay, then that's a good segue. AI or human touch?
Human all day, every day.
Business buzzword you'd ban forever.
Holistic.
Oh yeah, you and me both. Most unexpected client request.
For me to do their copywriting.
Oh, that might be the invite question back, because I think there's a story there.
You know, you've lived in my world, so you know why I'm just like, but I'm not a copywriter.
Oh, Nora, go-to karaoke song.
Oh, I actually do karaoke.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, there's so many good ones. Okay. I really love 10,000 Maniacs, Because of the Night.
Oh, good choice. Good choice. Good choice. All right. This is awesome. Hey, we're hanging out with Nora DiNuzzo, and we celebrated her in our community corner, which is how we convinced her to come on the show. We say, hey, come on the show so we can give you the spotlight. And she was in this moment that we're going to put this person into in a second here. Nora nominated somebody who we're going to spend some time celebrating right now, and we're going to do that. So, Jimmy, let's run the clip, and then we'll come back and make the introduction. Jimmy, let's get after it, pal.
Why do some of the most talented people in business struggle to be seen, while others with half the skill command loyal followings and premium prices? You pour everything into your work, crafting what you believe are powerful messages, but they seem to disappear into the digital void. This disconnect isn't about your talent. It's about your signal getting lost in the noise. For decades, the world's most unforgettable brands, from global giants to cultural movements, haven't just sold products. They've mastered the art of human connection. They build legacies by aligning their deepest purpose with their audience's journey. The key is to stop marketing and start connecting, by transforming your authentic voice from a background detail into your most powerful revenue engine. Ready to stop being your industry's best-kept secret? The conversation starts now.
Ooh, know that feeling. When you're speaking, but nobody's really hearing you. That's exactly where Corey Cacciola was his name.
Corrales.
Thank you. Corrales Cacciola, whereas a young journalist, he'd write these incredible stories. He'd pour his soul into every word, but something was missing. The connection, the human element, the thing that makes people actually give a damn. So he did what real leaders do. He went on a journey. Love it. From newsrooms to Nike boardrooms, from community banks to Web3 startups, 25 years of discussing and discovering what makes humans tick, what makes them trust, what makes them buy, what makes them believe. Now he's the secret weapon for founders who are done playing small, because here's the real talk. Your business isn't about you. It's about the transformation you create for others. And Corrales, he's the one who helps you find the story and tell it like it matters. So Nora, thanks for nominating Corrales today for today's Creative Spotlight. Why did you pause your day to come on the show with me to celebrate him today, Nora?
Yes. Okay. Corrales, aka Corey Cacciola. He's amazing. He is a brand clarity strategist. I don't know if you know, Keith, but our workshop, we talked about vitals, but our workshop is called Clarity. I'm a big fan of clarity in business. I think without it, you can't move forward. And so many of our clients are unclear, about how to grow. And that's what we solve for them. So anytime I meet another fan of clarity for brands and businesses, I'm like, yes, we can rock together. So yeah, Corey's an incredible strategist. He's worked all over the world. He most recently was working on a piece of business in London with a jewelry company, an Islamic jewelry company. It has a
Nice.
really cool storytelling behind it. So he comes from such an interesting background. Anytime he's talking Web3, he just totally blows my mind. I mean, I answered very quickly human when you asked me AI or human.
Yes.
Corey has a really good blend of the two, like blending humanity and psychology and how people think and do with, you know, synthetic and AI and Web3 and what's coming next. And so to me, he's someone that's really inspires me to push myself to learn more about that space and how humans and AI and agents and, you know, synthetic intelligence can blend with human intelligence. So yeah, Corey is amazing. I just referred him this week. Someone asked me, I had a bit of a viral post moment, which I wasn't expecting, and it produced leads for me. And one of them I sent to Corey because like just exactly what this person needs, you know, somebody that suffered a really significant loss in their business due to AI and they need to reposition themselves. And so he's the one that can help them. So yeah, I love Corey. I love to rep him. And I'm so happy that you asked me so I could talk about him on your show.
Awesome. Corey, here's how it works. So we celebrated Nora and we invited Nora to the show. And then what happens is say, hey, Nora, who's somebody in your circle that we can give you the creator spotlight to come into the community corner and shine it forward? And she chose to shine it on you. So now, Corey, I want to give you the spotlight from Nora. So you can come on the show and take over the seat Nora's in right now and continue paying forward this wonderful community corner creator spotlight we do every single day right here on Mornings in the Lab. So we're celebrating you, Corey. We'd love to have you on the show to celebrate this whole experience moving forward as Nora has done with you here today. So a lot of fun. Nora, thanks for that. That's awesome. Corey, we're celebrating you today. This is my favorite part of the show, when we get to surprise folks and do things like that, like we did with you when we surprised you.
You did surprise me. I was totally surprised. And it's so fun. Like how I met Corey was through Chelsea Burns, who I think was on your show.
Exactly.
And Victoria was on your show.
Yes.
And Avante was on your show.
Know.
This is like my crew, Keith. Like this is who I rock with. So yes, you're working the way through the whole crew.
I got to tell you, man, the crew has had an impact on my humanity. And I'm choosing that word purposely. I fell in love with Avante Daniels. And then I met Victoria Chavez and I found myself walking towards her even faster. Now I'm finding myself walking towards you even faster. Now I meet this Corey guy, like the love, and I mean that really with a very sincere word, like what great human beings that I was so fortunate to meet coming through Chelsea Burns. A true story. Yes. Chelsea shows up and it just one went to the other. And I know myself, I talk with Melissa and Jimmy, my team behind the scenes on this. It's so wonderful when we create something and the paying forward of it keeps happening. So I'm very grateful for you guys playing along with this. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us in the crew on your show. I think it's an informal, you know, I think Avante would say, you know, decentralized collective. I keep trying to centralize this, and he keeps saying, don't centralize us.
Yeah. I'm striving for a goal this Friday. Not that I'm offering you a hint or something to consider, but this Friday I'm trying to get Avante and some of the crew onto the show. I want to talk the culture of music and how music has changed so much over time. And I got some great things. I found some great stats, and I'm really leaning into making Friday. We make Fridays a free for all Friday. So, but I'm really looking to lean into the culture of music and its impact on society and the world and so forth. So,
well, you know, he's the perfect person to have on the show.
I know
the book, Power Beats and Rhymes.
I know.
It's all about how hip hop will save the world.
Yes.
So, yes.
He was on my show and we were talking and we got into, I said, is Kendrick and Drake kayfabe? Like, is that real? And as, man, he was.
We've had so many Kendrick Drake conversations in our group chat over the years. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yes, Global 6 Degrees of Keith, all connected. That's exactly it. Nora, I'm going to get you out of here. I know I've taken more time than I would have than I asked for, so I'm grateful you've given it to me. As your catastrophe of the morning has gone away, has this experience helped enlighten the rest of your day for you?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I knew it would be so much fun to talk to you. I mean, I caught little snippets of your show. I have a podcast strategy, by the way, which is to not ever listen to an entire episode of a show before you go on it. So you have no like pretext and like, you know, like, oh, you don't have to be nervous because someone did it better than you. Just like, just go on and be yourself. Now I'll like binge the Keith show. I will go back and binge.
Thank you. So as you know, because I do not talk to guests before the show. I do not talk. I purposely, because I want it to be a complete organic meet first experience. No different than the people that I grew up watching, the Lettermans, the Lenos, the Sterns, I want my audience, my community to see us meet for the first time, because there's magic in that. I believe there's much magic in that.
Totally. Yeah. You do give me that like old school vibe, like that old school talk show vibe. I like it. I really like it a lot. Interviewing people is a major life skill. If you don't know how to interview people for research or for purposes like this, learn how to do it. Learn how to be a good guest, but also learn how to research and be a host. I think
it's the reps. Thank you for that. Well, you know what? And I'll just, if I may, I'll tell you what my secret was. True story. I started my social media company before the pandemic. I started in the early 2000s. I started when there's a thing called the internet created. And I wrote a post in 2014, which questioned people why they weren't creating these virtual businesses, because I was able to do it all by doing one thing. I'll take my glasses off, by looking at the green light. Because I learned that if I can look at the green light and talk to you, I could convince my stakeholders, my employees, my customers, anybody I talk to, that they could buy from me. I ran my entire business the way that you and I are speaking this way. So I put the reps in, so that when I decided to turn this talk show thing on, it was like, oh, I guess I'm just doing this again. So there you go.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you that I'm like 100 times better in person than I am on Zoom. So I hope to meet you in person someday. Absolutely. Somewhere in the world. We'll have a meetup. We'll have a coffee.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to invite you to consider this too, because I know you have a very successful podcast. Maybe we want to talk about reframing your podcast to a live conversation. And maybe Uncle Keith can help you with that. I don't know. Just saying.
Ooh, yes, we should talk about that. We should. We've been starting to record a little bit, but like, man, it's hard. It's hard to make the time. Like, if you should, like, my calendar, I have this is a great use of AI. I'll give a little rep for VimCal here on your show. So VimCal is this AI-enabled calendar that Eric and I use, and it converts the time zones. You can like drag and drop your time slots to people. It just makes it really fast to communicate on scheduling, which I swear is still 25% of my job, is just going back and forth on when should we have a meeting. But last year, it does one of those like Spotify wraps at the end of the year.
Oh, nice.
And last year, this was like disgusting. VimCal told me that I had 1,600 hours of meetings. I did an FTE of just calls last year, which is why I don't have time to make a show.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that, actually, Nora DiNuzzo. We're going to have to talk about that. I think Uncle Keith can provide you some advice on that whole experience about meeting too much. But Nora, where can folks connect with you, find you, engage with you, and hire Nora DiNuzzo?
LinkedIn, baby. Come find me on LinkedIn. I'm probably the only Nora DiNuzzo on there that I know of. So just, Google. Well, it's not even Google. I don't know. What is it? LinkedIn me.
Yeah.
But I'm about to go on vacation, y'all. I'm actually about to take a vacation. So if I don't get back to you, it's not that I'm ghosting you. It's not that I'm ignoring you. I mean, if you're pitching me crap, then I'm ignoring you. But if you're like a legit human that wants to have a chit chat, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just having vacation with my family and my kids. So, trying to walk that line.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Nora, I'll leave you with this comment from Global. More than a decade on YouTube. This show's the best. Yeah, true story. Just telling you. Just giving you the nugget.
Facts, baby. #facts.
Nora, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy Pittsburgh, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day very soon, okay?
Awesome. Thanks, Keith. Thanks,
awesome. Everyone.
Yeah.
Nora, Jimmy, let's walk her out of here. Let's get after it. Let's continue. Jimmy, we're going to, boom. We're going to, man, we're going overtime today. Big time overtime. All right. So Jimmy, we are going to do, I'm calling an audible, Jimmy. I'm calling an audible. Let's get to the next creator spotlight, and then we're going to wrap it up. So we're not going to do the full community corner segment today because Darkwing Duck, put the glasses back, dude. We're literally here for the glasses. Yes. Well, hey, that's what I got them for. All right. So Jimmy, we're going to do, we're going to get to, I see Kevin there. Did I reveal him? No, I didn't reveal him. All right. So Jim, let's get here. All right. Boom. Okay. Let's go to the creator. Let's go to the community corner, the creator spotlight. Let's run the B-roll for this one, Jimmy. Let's get after it.
What happens when the provider becomes the one who needs providing for, when strength means admitting you're broken? Every day, thousands of new fathers struggle in silence with depression, anxiety, and overwhelming pressure to be the perfect provider while battling their own mental health crisis. One former Google executive discovered this truth firsthand and transformed his darkest moments into breakthrough action. Through vulnerable storytelling and authentic community building, he created a space where 19,000 dads across 150 countries now share their struggles and victories. Join the movement redefining strength in modern fatherhood, where vulnerability becomes your greatest superpower.
Imagine sitting on a park bench, crying every night, wondering why you don't love your newborn son. Oy, oy, oy. That was Kevin McGuire's reality after his second child was born. Instead of hiding behind the typical "I'm fine" facade. Hey, why do we sell facade facade? I always wonder when I hear the word facade. I'm like, facade, facade, it's kind of the same, isn't it? Anyways, instead of hiding behind the typical "I'm fine" facade, he did something revolutionary. He told the truth. He discovered he wasn't alone. Up to 1 in 4 fathers experiences paternal depression. Today, Kevin helps 19,000 dads worldwide have the real conversations we've been avoiding for generations. Through the new fatherhood, he's proving that our greatest strengths as men isn't in having all the answers. No, it's being curious and having the questions to be asked. It's in being brave enough to admit that we don't have all the answers. So Kevin, here's how it works, brother. Would love to have you on my show. True story. Yep. Love to bring you on to the community corner. Love to talk about that awesome beard of yours, that great hair of yours. And celebrate you and celebrate the next person in your orbit for the upcoming Creator Spotlight in the Community Corner. So we're celebrating you today and would love to offer you the light so you can pay it forward on the next Community Corner. Mornings in the Lab, Keith and Friends. Bruce Willis popping up on Kevin McGuire's feed. I love it. A little bit of Die Hard fun there. Okay, so guys, we're going to wrap it. We went overtime today. Who knew? Who knew? But my bladder's calling, and so is this sound effect. Sounds like that. Guys, we're going to get out of here. Lady Drew, I appreciate you. Always remember that there is never shame in requesting the true assistance one needs. There is only shame in not doing it. That is an absolute true story. Also, Lady Drew coming in saying one can be a pay member from different financial levels for Keith's show, and he has a store in his site and for this show too. True story. Absolutely. You guys can subscribe. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, like, subscribe, comment on it. The community is free. We do have some paying options, which I would invite you to. So if you're finding value in these experiences, would love to have you as a paying member. No question about it. And Matthew Rafowski, thank you for your show this today as well, reminding me for how I have come and that others can too, but I also can never give up for a moment in math. And you know, B Drive, I want to also offer up, Rufy, I heard you this morning, man. I appreciate your vulnerability. What am I talking about? 7:30 Eastern time, Kindness Rising, right here on the Mornings in the Lab channel. Matt Roof gets up after it every single day, offering positive, inspiring conversation. Today, he talked about battling addiction. He talked about the vulnerability that went through his journey in life, and I cannot encourage you enough to go listen to that, go lean into that, and ideally, hopefully, take something out of it. But guys, we're back here tomorrow, 8 o'clock, right here. Myself, John Anderson, C. Marty Fit, Matt, 7:30. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, daily. See you guys tomorrow. The bladder's calling. Jimmy, I'm getting out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow.